jeez. Right, now hang on. You'll probably see with the state of the screen I've broken many buttons, but sure, listen, it's grand. Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news, the iniBuilds A300 helicopter tutorial part 3, featuring the S-64 and the CH47D. And at some stage, I'm going to try and fix my background. Jesus, I hope the next screen works. Hello?
Hello there.
Hello. I can explain everything, right? I mean, well, right. So, my C drive, after receiving a Windows update, was like, whoa now, go handy, right? Because there was loads of space. And I was like, no problem. I'll move it all over to the large storage device that I have. You see, we lost the power here yesterday and it turned off my NAS drive. That was the first clue of imminent disaster. So I turned that back on and things are working, right? Sorted. Then I said I'd move everything, out of the folder I had on my SSD, unknowing that most of my OBS stuff was there, and I horsed it onto another hard drive completely, right? And it said during the copying over stage that the following files are in use by another program. OBS. I said, perfect. Ignore them. Skip them. Now I realised the files that were in use were the only files actually loaded on the scene, and
look at this biggie.
Yeah, well I know. And all the other files, all of them, have now moved to another drive. So I'm missing everything. So I'm kind of hoping when I restart OBS, it's like, hello, I believe you're missing something. And I'll be like, yes, I am. I'm missing things. And it'll find them for me. But I can't do that now without turning it off. And sure, we can't do that. You can't be doing that, lads. Otherwise, we'd be late. So let's just do it live. Yes, I'm going to be... It's like not wearing any jocks. Kinda. Right, we're missing things, but it's grand. All we need, friends, is you, is me, some lighting, a microphone, and the camera to help us communicate, converse, and amble as we, go through the copious amounts of news that we bring you this evening, Wednesday, the 11th of December. So, what do we have tonight? Well, there's not a lot of news. There's a bit happening now. The biggest news is Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Well, it released a patch early bells this morning or last night, depending on where you are. And we're going to go through it. We're going to have a look at it. There's a lot. There is a lot. Then, friends, we're going to be checking out a brand new release from iniBuilds. It's their A300-600. And This is a native aircraft to Flight Sim 2024, but if you have the original one back in 2020, well, there is a free compatibility upgrade. With a little bit of, inverted commas. They're still working on some bugs that they found, right? Then we're going to move on over to our helicopter tutorials, and tonight we're going to be flying some of the larger ones. The Ericsson S-64F, based of course on Sikorsky's aircraft, and of course the Chinook, the CH47D. And whilst there are a number of head-scratching moments, right, as in you can't use half the features in free mode or in free flight, but there's still, there's a lot getting used to some of the larger choppers. I know we flew the Super Puma, the H225, but these things, lads, way bigger, and they're more utility aircraft, in particular the S-64. I mean, it's used in firefighting, in cargo, and there are missions, of course, in career mode, so we're going to get ourselves accustomed to them. But while we're at it, well, we also know we have another excellent CH47D, which came out from Miltech, that also received an update, and it should be working tickety-boo inside Flight Sim 2024. So we're going to have a quick blast at that as well. Right, so hopefully all my stuff works. There's sounds anyway. What else? Jesus, there's more things coming. There's a new microphone ordered. Here's me logic. So you know the popping. Yeah, right. That's not me now. That's... Anyway, I thought I would cure that by replacing the microphone. Stupid idea. But I need a microphone for another gadget I'm working on. So there's a new mic on the way. What else? Gibbo, the master that is, has been building 3D things. Well, so tell you what Gibbo made. Gibbo has a 3D printer. And the man's a ledge. And, well, he's just a legend. So I reckon now he's not cheap, right? I mean, he's expensive. He adds on VAT twice, right? But he's only gone and made me some cool things from the Flight Sim setup, right? So one of them is this, and you might say, Murph, what's that? That's a little mounty gadget for holding my Toby. You see, right? Very, very good. And he's made other bits of paraphernalia. This was a gift that he made me. Look at it! It's made out of dreams and goodwill. Isn't it absolutely brilliant what you can do with a 3D printer, lads? Right? And it's solid, right? Solid. And that lives there now. That lives there forever. And it's absolutely incredible stuff when it comes to 3D printing. So I don't know if you guys use 3D printers, but I might make a little channel. You know the way our Discord only has about 3 channels, right? I might make a channel over there. If you guys have 3D printers, well, show us what you get up to. Do you know? Because you can do some incredible things these days when it comes to 3D printing. And in particular when it comes to your flight simulator, right? And some pretty awesome stuff. But anyway, friends, how are we all keeping? It is the Wednesday before Christmas. Yes, and just 2 weeks away. Work is busy. We had an IT problem today. Oh no! And we had to restart the server. So we used like a virtual server inside a virtual server, which lives on the main server. And, well, it decided to go bad. Took about 4 hours now. So we've no systems for 4 hours, and this leading up to Christmas in warehouse and transport. Hello, Mr. Two-Tone.
Ted, come on. You're going a bit mad there.
You all right there now? Huh? Two-Tone Jr. built he constructed a gingerbread house. That's going to be... Bloody timing at that. Muse fan and Canoe Head too. The pair of you two in it just as well. That was close now. Do you know, I'd hate to friggin' challenge you two to a friggin' duel. You'd be in an absolute hoop. But anyway, it was quite a busy day. Do you know, we're halfway through the week, and it's all about flight sim. And, you can't get enough of the sim. Yesterday was a busy day. I got home. I've been working on the rig here in the background. I had to go off and get... How do we say this without you lot taking the absolute mick out of it? But I had to go off and find some tiny nuts. Tiny, right? Real small nuts. And I needed these nuts because they hold the Bravo thingy in place. Because I'm an idiot. I used the big stupid clamps to secure the Bravo plate to my rig, not knowing that, no, Murphy, there's holes in the thing. You can screw them in. But alas, I didn't have small nuts, so I had to send my dad out. Dad, you wouldn't go off there and just get us a little bag of nuts. And they're teeny tiny. Look at the size of them, fellas. Right, I mean, they're tiny. And they're now going to do the job. So I'm going to work on that tomorrow. What else did I do with the rig since then? Nothing else. Good news. Flight sim hardware. Do you know the CL60? I got a notification to say that finally arrived in Belgium. Belgium's only across the sea. I might have it for Christmas. I don't know. But let's see what happens, right? Because that's kind of the last piece of the jigsaw when it comes to building the rig. And I'll have cameras set up and more. As I said, there's a new microphone on the way that'll replace this fella. My trusty blue Ember mic, and that's going to live over there. And I'm going to get another microphone that's going to live over here. It could make me sound like this, or it could be worse. I don't know, lads. It's hard to call. So that's the crack now. Consider yourselves up to date, and I fixed my camera angle. Look, everything's straight and normal. It's boxed within this scene, you know. And we started. So what we do at dinner time, we usually put on the old iPad. You know, we'll put something in the background. We have our discussions, and then we turn on the iPad because you know when you're eating, well, you don't want to be talking while you're eating. And if anyone ever tells you at dinner time, no, this is when we should be talking. No, you eat. Your mouth opens and closes as you're eating. It's not time for talking. You can choke. Right. So we have the iPad, and every now and again we'll watch maybe a series or a movie, and we'll watch it over. Like a movie could last us, Jesus, you can get a couple of weeks out of a movie. Anyway, we only started watching Titanic, right? Now, back when Titanic came out, I was only a young fella in school, right? And, you know, the pictures and stuff, you know, right? Anyway, the movie still holds up, but I'm starting to figure out things, you know, with the story now. Words are said and eyes look in a particular way, or the camera moved in a certain way when certain things were said. You know, in particular, one of them said, "Never let go." Right? That was said early on in this broadcast, in the movie. Never let... Right? We all know what happened there. But, Jesus, do you know, it's been 84 years, a bit like Murph's intros. Shag off, Adam. What are you talking about? These intros last for... Oh, you'd want to be fast now. Woof. I also got another Stream Deck, look. Look at the teeny tiny one. It's a miniature. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Elgato. How are you, Elgato? It's me, your man. Number one customer. I pretty much own everything you've made. But this one is going to live on the rig. And look, hang on, reach forward here now. Jesus. Speaking of Gibbo, when it comes to 3D printers, oh wait, how does this, oh yeah, that's going to, well I can't show you now, but it's going to live in this gadget, and there's screws in behind it. No, there's not. There's holes in behind it. And that'll live in there. I can't do it now because the yoke will fall out. And that'll be bolted on somewhere. Oh wait, Jesus, I'm going to need more small nuts. We'll worry about that later. Oh Jesus. Right, put that back. And I don't know what this does. Oh yeah, I have it, that's me VR recording setup. Press button for funny microphone voice. I don't think you can hear it in here. Can you? No, it doesn't work in here. Wait now, does that toggle it? Listen, let's not start pressing buttons here because we know things are already broken, right? But anyway, friends, hope you're keeping very well. It's great to see you here on this mad Wednesday. Did I play me music? Ah, Jesus, right. And we're going to get started here now in a moment. And, that's another thing I need to do. Henry, yes, the old Stream Decks, lads, fierce handy for flight simulation. Fierce handy. I mean, you can set these up to have lots of different controls over your aircraft, over the menu systems, everything. So that's a thing we need to do as well. Well, Gibbo made a video on it a while ago. But we'll have to check it out again. Anyway, who came in here? Look, who's in the house? CP65, good evening. Nightbat is here. Welcome aboard. Vacuum is in the house. Hope all is well, my dude. Super Typhon, choppers and vatliners. You better believe it. Good to see you, Super Ty. Little Trader is here. Happy Wednesday. 98 Vulcan, good evening. Super Ty says, like last year, you're my number one streamer. I watched 775 total hours. 290,000 channel points and gained nearly 7,500 chats sent. Jesus, Super Ty. That's incredible. Tell me, how does it make you feel? Right? You need some sort of therapy, I'd say, listening to me for that amount of time. But thank you very, very much indeed. That's insane, man. Really, really do appreciate it. Night Zep is here. A Merry Christmas to all. 2 more weeks to Christmas. And many happy returns, Night Zep. Big Carlo's in the house. Why Kanyes is here. Best day of the week, he says. You're a legend, Murph. A legend. YCY, no, WCY, why can yes. But yes, good to see you, man. Balut is in the house. How are you, Balut? Shunty Mac Shuntface.
Oh, Jesus.
Is there some news? Panda Watch. It's all happening now. Tarnish Mossman, good evening. Liptorius is here. Canoe Head 2. I'm here because you're all here. Merry Wednesday. Welcome aboard, man. Eamon 1973. Things are happening. Good to see you, Eamon. Maybe we'll get the Murph and Grinch one of these days. What? Grinch. Would you ever go... What? That stupid costume is buried over there, lads. There's no... Well, we'll see. I'll have to do a ninja cat crawl to get to it. We'll see. Anthony V, good evening. Stick Figure is here. Len Ballooner, welcome aboard. Black Eyes Gabe, we have a Black Eyes Gabe. He says, happy hump day, everyone. I posted a little meme regarding Crocs for all who celebrate it. Gabe, now, listen, right? This better be a positive story. Positive, right? Did I play this song? I did it. I need more music on this little box. Anyway, Gabe, it's good to see you. Airwolf is here. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Muse fan bursts in the door with his eyelash. He says, how he is his mad jokes is. Happy hump day. Muse, it's good to see you. Muse, you were up past your bedtime last night. Right, you saw things happening. Nutty Slack is here. Good to see you. Lima Kilo Mike, good evening. Dennis Bergkamp. Do you remember Dennis Bergkamp back in the day? Where is the TCAS on the A300? We'll find out together, Dennis. Just you wait. We'll find it. Hope you're well. Helric is here. Good to see you. A very good evening, Fireflies. I finally decided to bite the bullet and purchased Flight Sim 2024. I must say it runs better on my 11th gen i5 than 2020 does. Jesus. Though what Palaver is it's setting up my flight. Palaver. I haven't heard that in ages. The Palaver, yeah, it's savage setting up your controls. Now, there are ways around it. You can use SPAD. It totally bypasses the sim. But yes. Top Gun Lenny is here. Good to see you, Lenny. Gibbo Ireland. Hola, Senior Murph. Hola. Gibbo, you want tequila? Yeah, that worked. Pines. Good evening, Gibbo. God, great crack and Ray. That's what Gibbo can see now. In fairness, we could be in mass, sitting down the back on the last pew, listening with absolute utter determination to what your man is saying, and Gibbo will be in party mode because he's out having pints. Good to see you, man. Commander Skylark, you're very welcome in. Petrol Head is here. Liptorius, good evening. Jan Drace, happy hump day. Toto 2495 rambles in. Good to see you, Toto. Care 85, hello, welcome in, man. Come here. I watched a video from Simhanger. Do you watch Simhanger? Brilliant content creator, brilliant. And I had the pleasure of meeting Mark over at FS Expo, and he has one of the most unique voices. One of the most unique, right? And he actually, funny enough, he did a helicopter tutorial video. I'll link it in the chat later on. Well worth a watch. It's all about setting up controls and stuff, you know. But it's Mark here with Simhanger. Let's get started. Right? His accent is shagging brilliant. South African or something, right? But he's the most calmest devil you'll ever come across. And the man has more hardware than, you know, that scene out of Terminator 2. You know, when they go down into the basement thingy, right? Amazing stuff. Let's get started. Brilliant. Go on, Mark, you devil you. So I was watching Mark earlier on. But anyway, APU Inspector, good to see you. Forgetful Larry is in the house. Now, Larry. Well, Larry had the lorry. Like, riot. Now, Larry does be streaming, watching myself and Adam Controls. And Adam Controls is in the lead. So that means I haven't been doing enough for Larry. I haven't done enough for him. He hasn't felt as welcome here as he has over with Adam. We need to change that, Larry. So what I recommend, you should come to Murph Manor. Spend a week or two. Bring the family. And, you know, love me. Love me. Then you'll be sick of me. But yes, I saw that post earlier on. Or was it yesterday? Very, very mad. There was like a minute or something between the two of us. It was the same with Colonel Fork with myself and Ali. It's like neck and neck, right? Brilliant. But anyway, my music stopped playing. Play something else, Murph. What have I tuned into? Listen, it's important. It's important, Energizer. Waiting to hear what we're going to talk about. Bossman Gaming is here. Welcome aboard. Black Eyes Gabe says, I miss it when Gibbo used to help Murph with the news. Gibbo was way better than Murph. Gibbo, I'll DM you my address for the money later, okay? Gibbo would be great cracking the news now. Any news, Gibbo? But yes, Doc Blues, good evening. recovering from surgery yesterday. Hang on in there, my dude. And, well, feel better soon. Farmer William is in the house. Welcome aboard. Look, it's busy. Leaping Sumo is here. Welcome. In other words, Murph's PC is going in commando. It's missing all its important bits, yes. Echo Charlie, good to see you. Thub is in the house. It's the Murph Unplugged stream. That kind of works too. Larry, good man. You're 70 streams, Larry. Jesus. David Stewart, good evening. Patrick is in the house. How are you, Patrick? What's happening in Tipperary? Mick Ham is here. Good to see you. Out here in the suburbs. Good evening, all. Gibbo says, new mic. Stop copying me, Murph. Next, you'll be wearing a Liverpool jersey. Oh, wait. Yeah, well, all right. Okay. How do we say this without getting in trouble? I've terrible mic envy of Gibbo because he has the Shure SM7B. Oh, wait. Gibbo, is yours the SM7BD or SM7DB? Is it the one that has the built-in preamp? Do you ever hear Gibbo talking on the microphone? It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? Do you know? You'd want to like start replacing all the different voices that you hear. You know, alarm clocks, you know, Alexa, Siri. Right. I'm just replaced with Gibbo. Right, now, where's this? We're over here, look. Quick, we're in trouble. 3D is so cool. 4D is the future. 4D, there's nothing like a nice amble down the newsage lane. Right? We should amble down the lane of talk. But yes, Rambog Mord is in the house. Good to see you, Rambog. You're looking well. Adam Controls is here in the chat. Hope you had a great stream, buddy. Buddy, hope you're well. Scorpio says, can Gibbo print Mrs. Two-Tone a new kitchen? Wait, what? A teeny tiny one. Yes. Krabby1 is here. Welcome aboard. Mac Vision, good to see you. Boronco is here. How was the update process? There was about 3 gigs or something in the App Store. And it reset all my filters, deleted them, and the NVIDIA app was not supposed to do that. It also resets your NVIDIA DLSS. So you'd want to check that. Make sure that you're running the latest and greatest DLSS. But yes, Test Pilot, he says, evening all. I heard there was a Guinness shortage. I feel like it's my public duty to check my local area and report back my findings. So in the real world news, lads, there's not necessarily a shortage, but, well, Guinnesses can only make enough Guinness for so many people. I mean, we can't all have Guinness. And Guinness became even more popular. And they have to limit the orders in which they can send across the pond over to the United Kingdom. Because we drink a savage amount of Guinness over here. I mean, it's like you couldn't even quantify the amount. I'm drinking Guinness right now, right? Do you know? So they were saying there was a bit of it. They had to curtail the orders a bit because Guinness is getting very, very popular. And they were saying this kind of happened because it's a different sort of a drink. Not everyone would drink a Guinness, right? A stout, because you have all your beers and you have all your, you know, but they were kind of saying with the lockdown, with COVID and all of this, well, people kind of wanted to drink something a little bit more interesting than your usual lineup of, you know, beer or whatever. And this is where Guinness kind of, hey, look what we have, do you know? And, well, it became incredibly more popular and it tastes like more. It tastes like more. But not everyone is into a Guinness. Maybe you'd have a single pint or a half a pint. Do you know what I mean? But it is, well, you know, I should be sponsored by Guinness. Just saying. Gibbo sponsored by Guinness. Actually, no, Gibbo sponsors Guinness. Right? But yeah, do you know what I mean? But anyway, we're over here. Look, Zit is here. Diz nuts, right? Teeny tiny, correct. Clipping intensifies. Harden Up is here. Good to see you. Virtual Gamer, welcome aboard. Basically, he went nuts. Yes. Beardy McWhiskey is in the house. Alison Johnson. Hello, Ellie. She says, Murph, your rig is going to turn into one of those booking bulls, right? In the bars. Hop on there now and just press the button slowly. Yeah. Ali, I don't know. Do you know, I was considering getting the haptic feedback pad thingy. You know, Real Sim Racing. One of those. They do like the HF8 or something it's called. I don't think you need it because I'm actually using a Moza flight control and that thing shakes, rattles and rolls all over the place and you can actually feel it in the entire frame. It's quite incredible. But I hope you're keeping well, Ali. Great to see you. Now, back in 1912, you mean? Wait, what? Titanic, much like Murph's intros. No, squished. I thought Murph was booked onto Titanic. He's that old. Well, here's one for you, you big smarty face. They're supposed to be launching Titanic 2. Yep. Some mad Australian fella has built it in China. And look it up. The Blue Star Line or something it's called. And it's supposed... Yeah, right. It's on the way, lads. We all get to go on Titanic. Now, what are the odds? Paddy Power's going to be having the crack here. Go on. We'll give you 10 to 1. She'll say, like, do you know what I mean? It'll be built much safer, yeah? But still, we're all going to be like, I bet you. I'm just saying now, but it could happen. It might. Jesus. But anyway, we're over here. Look, Dad in Command is here. 24 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Hope you're well. Lightspeed is in the house. Welcome in. We'll be doing intros for another hour. What are you talking about? Just bought a Stream Deck, says Petrolhead. The one with the wee dials in it. Yeah. The knobs. Yeah. Very good. Very, very good. Funny voice confirmed. Wait, what? Henry says, I've heard this. Yeah, the Steam Decks are brilliant. Stream Decks are brilliant. Steam Decks. The Stream Decks are brilliant, yes. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Martin Kerry Aviation subscribing at Tier 1, 27 months. Martin, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, Martin Kerry Aviation, as in County Kerry, he has an amazing Instagram page. Loads of awesome photos. Do be sure to check it out. But yes, Dom Dark, hello sir, hope you're well. Trap is in the house, hola. 6 Knots, Kieran, welcome in. 6 Knots, we need to do stuff with the missions within the sim. We need to dabble, you're right, with the SDK. And it's just, right, we just need to spend an afternoon crunching numbers, you know, and find someone who can actually do coding. And then, you know what I mean? We can do, because you can do things, but we need to figure out how to do it, right? Lightspeed, what does redeeming police do? It sets me lights off and they all flash as if I was being followed by the police. Yes. Beer Slayer, very good evening to you. I hope you're well, man. Actoris is here. I'm hoping the patch will help with OFPS. People have reported better performance for sure. Idle Cutoff is here. Murph, the door was open. I did knock. Man yourself. Come in there now. Winkle Gassler is here. The lovely Kaharia has rambled in. How are you, Kaharia? Hope you're keeping well. Who else come in? Simhanger has more hardware than I do. Yeah, right? Nuts. That sounds nothing like him. What? What are you talking about, Muse?
It's Mark from the Sim Hangar. Let's get started.
That's absolutely him! In my mind, anyway, right? It is! Listen to it! That was brilliant. I'm not going to ever tell Mark I can, you know, right? I try to do other people's voices, but not in any sort of bad way, you know. Hello there, my friends. Q8 Pilot, for example, and right? Brilliant. We'll have to do what your man Connor, or what's his name, Connor, who? His voice isn't that deep.
It's Mark, the Sim Hangar.
That's even worse. No, you have to make it, you can't right? I think it'd be great crack if we ran into someone like, what's his name, Connor something, you know, your man, the comedian fella? Does all the voices. We need that in Flight Sim. We need someone to go around there and just do all the voices. Connor Moore, yes, that's the one. Right? Brilliant. Anyway, before we get in more trouble, he just likes me more. Get over it. Fair enough, Adam. Brilliant. Are the NVIDIA filters working now? They are indeed. But yes, Energizer, welcome in. Platty Trying Flying is here. I want to hear Sim Hanger do an impression of Murphy. Well, to be fair, some people try to do impressions of me, right? Now, it's not terribly hard. Sound like you're some sort of an Egypt, you know, very positive Egypt. But that's, you nailed it. But yeah, there's so many different voices and characters. When even the folks who we watch, the live streamers, everyone has their own kind of style, right? And some of them are hilarious. Some of them are brilliant, do you know? And yeah, I don't think that mine is probably the easiest to do. You know, probably the easiest. But anyway, we're over here. Look, I forgot you mentioned that. Let's do it. Wait, what? What? Who? We're over here now. Wired Lad says, Twitch told me this week that I can watch Murph's channel more than anyone else. I say, I know. There we are. Photos by Kev. Are we there yet? Not even ready yet, Kev. Lee Dixon, good evening. Fork and Toasters is here. I can hear his uncle talk all day.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait, I can hear this uncle talk all day. Me? Who? Right, Urban Guju is here. 3 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope all is well. Paparazzi is here. Here's to all us surgery guys being a bunch of cut-ups. Hope you're keeping well and the recovery has gone great. Paparazzi, if I'm not mistaken, you won something on our Discord in our members channel. Will you drop us a Discord? We're doing giveaways on Discord on the members channel for our members. And just make sure you link, if you're a subscriber on Twitch or a member on YouTube, just make sure that you link your accounts on Discord and you'll get access to the channel. We're doing a couple of giveaways for the Christmas, you see. Murph, I think Gibbo was really drunk. It shows you how drink can skew someone's judgment. What? You know you're Irish when you refer to the Guinness company as Guinnesses. Yeah, the Guinnesses. Yeah, that's what we do. Houses or houses. But anyway, Valk Nut is here. Good to see you. Murphy is just as nice as Guinness. Creamier and sweeter. Delicious. You're back in the wheel. Brilliant. Right, where's this now? Buttons all over the shop. Does Guinness turn your... No, well, it can actually, yeah. It can. They're called the Guinness SH1T... Right. Eamon says, I don't like Guinness when I was much younger, but now I love it. Yeah, it's right. Elaine was wearing her Guinness hat today to fend off the cold. See? It even protects you in the cold. But yes. Now let me see. Wait now. How do we pronounce this? Is it... Jesus. Is it FBA Chian? Is it Fabichian? Is it... Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello from Brazil. Hello from Ireland. Jesus. What's the weather like over there? I bought myself an Octavie and its teeny tiny G1000 panel. The Octavie. Nice. Ron, old veteran. Good to see you. Big smarty face. Yeah. What could go wrong? A Titanic made in China. Right, I'm just saying, delivered by Wish. Twarog is here. It'll go down very well. Good to see you, Twarog. Helrick says Murph did the welding. Wait, what? Listen, I'd be brilliant at that. If I did manual labour, which I don't. The one time Murph can legitimately say Titanic Irish made, and for some weird reason he doesn't. Yeah, we don't. Well, let's move on to something else. Murph, I got injured playing hide and seek. The doctor sent me to ICU. Jesus. Amen. His voice isn't deep like that. What are you talking about? That was like absolute, like pure and utter realistic, right? Is it Baltic in Ireland as it is in Scotland -2? K-Mac? No, I don't think it's -2. It is cold though, but I don't think it's that cold. Do you know what I mean? Right, into YouTube, we say hello to all our friends who have joined us here. Spiner, good to see you. After the update, I can now play the guitar. Oh, nice! Brilliant. Uniform Goose, good to see you, Goose. Cato is here. Dave Cleary, good evening. Cambridge calling. Johnny Shue is here. Northland, welcome aboard. VR Guy Racing. Gizmo, hope you're well, man. Who else come in? Inns1337. Hey, Paul. Zappel is here. Newfoundland Bush Flying. Happy Super Hour. It's time for supper. Welcome in. Siddle, good to see you. Ohio, hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well, Siddle. Alan Black is here. Colorado, wow. Jesus. No stranger to make a nice beer. Stephen is here. Just joined the perfect moment to hear about your small nuts. Wait, what? No, what? Ro Jogan, welcome in. Picky. Peekaboo. Perkyboo. Marty's in the house, good to see you. Jesus now. Palakos, welcome in. Simon Pert is here. The Great Guinness, right? Right, surviving the apocalypse. I know that feeling. You're welcome in. Byron is here, good evening. And Crispy came in. Do you do Obsidian Ant? And now here on the sim. No, I can't. Well, I can sometimes. My voice needs to be lower for him. Obsidian has a great accent. Wonderful way of speaking. But he once called me... 2-to-1 has made a video for Microsoft Flight Sim. And I was like, what did you call me? 2-to-1. Blue Games did the same. 2-to-1 Murphy. No, it's not. Two-tone. 2. Maybe I should change it to numeral 2. But yeah, they think it's 2-to-1 Murphy. What does that even mean? What does 2-tone Murphy mean? I got sunburnt on my arms and they were red. And I went swimming and the rest of me was white. That's what happened. And I was told, two-tone. You don't get to choose your nicknames. Ever. It's like a NASA thing. You don't get to choose your name. It's chosen for you, right? But anyway, 10-year is here. Good to see you. Stuart Snape is here. Good evening. Jacobs. Another hello from Colorado. Nice, man. Nice. 2-to-1 Murphy. Right. A nice and toasty 6 degrees here, says Super Ty. Nice beer and America. The perfect oxymoron. Kev, right? Dr. Sisu is here for 36 months. My dude. He says, helicopter tutorial. How are we supposed to fit half of chat hanging onto the skids? Happy 36 months, 3 solid years with no ban. Thank you all for being so lovely. Brilliant. Dr. Sisu, thank you very, very much indeed. You absolute ledge. Low Viz is here. Good to see you.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Lock and load. Good evening. Weasty. Hello, Weasty. Larry says 2-to-1 Murphy equals 2 Murphys for 1, or 1 Murphy equals 2 Murphys. Wait, what? Just go with Malahide. Problem solved. 2-to-1 is the ratio of head hair to beard hair. Showerlish. See, I thought two-tone was a reference to the ska musical tunage. What? I was hoping it was two-tone after the ska music label. Wait, what? Really? What's this? What are you talking about? Ska! Listen, the important thing is, and Acrussis is here, I thought it was homage to Two Tone Records. No, it wasn't! Nothing to do with it at all! I was off playing soldiers. I had me beret on, right? And the uniform had, sleeves, right? And I got absolutely char-grilled friggin' sunburned. And later that day, after we finished up playing soldiers, we went swimming in the swimming pool. And I rambled in, as was my wont, shirt off. Get a good hair, look at this now, right? And the lads are like, especially the Cork lads, Jesus, Murphy, you're awful two-tone looking, Murphy. Awful two-tone. You're like the Cork mascot, Murphy. Cork lads also sound like they come from Jamaica. Can't talk tonight. I've been trying to do accents. But anyway, the name stuck. It started off as Gunner Two-Tone. Then it dropped the Gunner part because, up Susan Styra. And it just became TwoToneMurphy. But yes, anyway, for 5 years, Murph has regretted that long day when he got a bit of sun. Right? I get sunburn now like you wouldn't believe. I get sunburned in here. I get sunburn just thinking about the sunburn, right? Let me take care of that for you, Murph. Sure, I have permissions to change the channel name. Gibbo, not a hope. You probably do, but shag off. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you can only change it once. Just don't do that. Welcome to Mallet Head Streams. What does mean mallet head? My head doesn't look anything like a mallet. Do you ever see a mallet? Yeah, Murph, your head is one. Gregor says, Murph, do you get moon burned? I do. I actually did. No, I don't. But sunburned, yes. Yes. Oh, terrible bad. You didn't go too bad in Texas with the sun. I was wearing Factor 1000. Filled the bath with it, went swimming and then came out, Larry says, you should change it to Two-Tone Murphy. So it's easier to see the capitalization. No. Because it's not capital. It's two-tone. It's right. Nothing to do with the horse running in the Gold Cup flying teapot. No. Swollen, it was like he was smacked by a mallet. He was cautioned by the Gardaí for tanning his moon. Brilliant. Right, anyway, that's enough of you lot having a go with me. I came here to spread the good news and talk about things like, stuff, and without you going bananas. About me mallet head. It's an ample sized cranium. Look at the back of the head. It's a very ample sized cranium. Now, do you know? I even have a hood. Right? Who's your man talking to? Sure, we can't even see his head. Right? Jesus, don't mess up the hair. Right? It's brilliant. Plenty of space for brain. What are you talking about?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Wombat49 has arrived. Now we can start. Good to see you, Wombat. Welcome in. Jumbo is here. Welcome aboard. That's the ball spot I see. Lies. The glare. Wait, what? Good evening, says Old Git Gaming. Murph got a nice whiskey and lemonade. Not good for helicopter flying. Whiskey and lemonade? Don't think I've ever tried that. Welcome in, though. Right, lads. Let's get started here with buttons. Factor Tipex sun cream. Clemo, I love that. Factor Tipex? That's brilliant. Right, we'll come over here. And we'll come over here again. And, oh Jesus, my camera angle was lovely there a minute ago. Hang on. I must have been talking for slightly more than 2.5 minutes because I need to... Oh, Jesus, now. Hang on now. Jesus, was I talking that long? I was. Oh, sure, look at the state of that. Look at the view, friends. So here you find us in the flight deck of an Airbus A300-600. Look at the suffering state of that in the colours, in the uniform, in the jersey of the United Parcel Service, UPS. And we're on the ground here in Shannon. So we're going to be checking out this machine here in a little bit. This is a native aircraft for Flight Sim 2024, just released by iniBuilds. There is an upgrade path. You can upgrade from your current one. And I think it's like $10 or $9.99. Or if you have the existing A300, it's going to be upgraded and patched so it works. Right? It works. Gibbo could change the name to Flight Sim Expo, babes. Brilliant. Serial Delta, good to see you. Hello from the land down under. Hope you are well. The hood is for when he's to cover up in shame. Wait, what? Shame? There's no shame. But anyway, so we're going to be figuring out this machine here now in a little bit. But it's great to see this machine now, native in the sim. Great news. But anyway, friends, as always, pause the sim. As always, we are going to start off with this week's Flight Sim news. What's happening, right? So we're going to enlarge this. And tonight, we shall start off with the developer update which was a patch released for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And Jesus, there's an awful lot, right? Fair play to Jane. She put out the post. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. She updated the post that went out a couple of days ago, but these are the release notes of the sim that we're currently running now. Kanzui, good to see you, man. Spared no expense. Look at those Christmas lights. Paid a fortune for those. Yep. Hope you're well. Anyway, the sim has been updated, and the usual, right, go handy if things are broken and your custom add-ons and whatever else. But let's talk about what they fixed. So stability and performance. This is like one of the most important things they could possibly have done. So they fixed a crash in the audio system occurring sometimes when closing the sim. Although, okay. Fixed a crash in the FX system. Fixed a crash that could occur when releasing a lever interaction. Fixed a crash at the end of scientific research missions. The important one here is they've reduced memory usage for aircraft gauge textures generated by WebAssembly. It reduces the amount of out-of-memory crashes on Xbox with the WASM-enabled aircraft. That was a huge issue, and it wasn't really addressed during the live stream. I say they knew about it, and they were like, oh yeah, we kind of broke that. The Limbix is here, good to see you. Fixed a crash that could occur while creating a flight plan. That happened to me. It happened to me twice. Reduced latency with HTTP requests. Can't say I found that. Potential crash when using the EFB. Remember the crash we had? We had 2 crashes the other night. It was nuts. PH Roy is here, good to see you. 7 hours, 10 minutes in the A330. Nice. What else now? The fixed a crash going to the hardware settings of the Toby tracker. So we knew that. The Toby eye tracker. If you try to do anything with that within the main menu, it would just crash. Then they fixed it with the hotfix. But now it's properly fixed. Added a pop-up to process launching the sim in safe mode in case you have a crash. So they actually got rid of that. It's now back in there. Packages from the community folder. I haven't tried this yet. We're going to be checking it out. However, the marketplace, though not active, we do have the option for disabling and also locally storing some of the add-ons, which is super handy, right? Fixed a crash in machines with more than 32 logical cores. That was a huge problem for some CPU users. Xbox fixes when it came to photo mode. Limited the number of passengers. Added integrity check. Don't mind any of that. Reduced the stutter of the game when the panel camera is opened. Optimized the boot time. Haven't seen that. I saw a lot of people report today that they were it was taking them ages to get into the sim. They were all stuck on 97% again. Do you know? Adam Pestridge is here. Good to see you, Adam. Joe, welcome in. Jerky Jacko, welcome. Kev wants pizza. What are you talking about? We could be here for some time. It's grand, Kev. We're going to fly through this. Anyway, general bug fixes. There's quite a lot of them here, right? Virtual keyboard, that was acting the Muppet. The windshield effects, I'm hoping that's now fixed. Camera bug, don't mind that. Multiple fade outs when going in and out of aircraft with other players around. That was a real pain in the ass. I mean, that thing should have came with, a friggin' a warning sensitive to lights. Do you know what I mean? But they've now fixed it. Fixed the grey haze at night. I didn't see that with HDR, but I'm aware of it. Improved normal textures from the packages, making them look less flat. That's mainly scenery. The DDS files and legacy effects. Fixed some flow locks when missions restart. Now, they have inadvertently created a serious issue when it comes to third-party scenery. I saw a post there from NZA Simulations giving out that the performance at some of their airports, it's absolutely shagged. CPU usage goes off the charts, so there's a problem. They're aware of it, they figured it out, but no news yet on when they can fix it. So if you are using a 2020 scenery, right, as in a custom scenery, and you're getting absolutely horrendous performance, it's a bug. They're aware of it, we just don't know when they're fixing it. Anyway, what else do we have? Modular aircraft, or common part of a modular aircraft, can now have pre-flight pins. That's all grand. Props, turbines, and rotors now move in multiplayer aircraft on first-party multiplayer aircraft, which is great. So we should now see rotors and props moving. Toolbar not being usable in cursor mode. The NVIDIA DLSS anti-aliasing noises has been fixed. Reduced objects popping, right? We were getting all that sort of headache. Mr. Chippy is here. Oh no, I thought that was Mr. Chippy. Zit says, this is happening to me with the Pyrogry Edinburgh. Yeah, so it's an issue. Cy120 can't get past 15% now. Oh, Jesus. What else? Fixed missions not showing properly. Numbers not displaying correctly. The scroll bar appearing for a frame. changed the initial trim in free flight aircraft, now set back to neutral. Added a new global VAR, the camera locked tool should be, to know if the current camera is locked. Fixed flows, that's okay. Intensity of runway lights, so they fixed the intensity of runway lights. Glider spawning as passive aircraft. Long boot times when client time does not match the server time. So that's where we were saying make sure that you sync your timings, using your date and time settings. Fixed Morse sounds being too loud, they were. Fixed input when running as avatar, didn't come up, I didn't have that. Fixed most detected buildings spawning on parking spots. Never came across that one either. Backwards compatibility, they fixed the WY's modulators for sound. Content HTML UI folders no longer encrypted. This is hopefully going to be good news for flow. Sim objects handling, wrong ATC, changing LOD on models and visual effects objects not spawning. Aircraft, number of issues with the Cessna 172 with its liveries. The LOD issue on some of the Cub Crafter Xbox liveries. They didn't mention anything here about the... they didn't mention two aircraft. They didn't mention the H225 and they didn't mention the A400, which is a bit of an issue. But anyway, I wasn't aware of this either. They were talking about some of the... what are they called? Some of the stickers and, pictures. They said they were disrespectful. Did you see that? I need to find where they said that, but I thought it was funny. Where is this now? Fixed logos and stickers. No, that wasn't it. I need to find out where they said that because I wasn't aware of it. Anyway, the Albatross got an update, the Air Tractor, the 125, and they've added in, where's this now? Fixed missing pins, fixed rotor brake, fixed wrong spelling on placard, major cleaning pass on the livery, discard that, and added flight seeing 15, don't know what that is. What else? The Avia Pits, the King Air was done, the C90, also the 350 was fixed. The Boeing 737 MAX, a couple of updates. The 74, a couple of updates. Dreamliner, a couple of updates. The F-18 got a couple of updates. The 172 and the Grand Caravan. The Sky Courier engine audio was a little bit too quiet. That should now be grand. Yeah, the 125, they've actually added in trim. And I was going to show you a workaround. There was actually a freeware mod made on flightsim.to. The Red Cross, reading the Geneva Convention. Aha, right, Byron. Okay. So the Sky Courier number one, it was too quiet. They've now fixed that. With the Airbus 125 helicopter, they've now added in an override to give you trim. Nice move. So that now works. And there was a workaround. You don't need it. They've done it themselves. CJ4, the Longitude, the SR22, the DA40, DA72. These are kind of just individual aircraft stuff, but it's mainly the aircraft that Microsoft own. Now, the Pilatus PC-24 says target specialization edited in the aircraft CFG and 3 liveries added. I haven't tried it yet, but can anyone tell me, is the PC-24 now working? Because that thing was absolutely borked. I mean, that thing didn't work at all. So hopefully that's now working. A couple of other ones. Aircraft core systems, they've reduced brake wear. Glass cockpits got an update, especially with the Garmin units. They still didn't mention a bug that it auto zooms in. Anyone else got that problem? When you're in external view, you go to internal view, your GNSs, your 530s are now zoomed in. Anyway. Fixed handling of heliport elevation, issue with auto-tuning. Auto-tuning was a huge part of this. The Primus Epic 2 got updated, the Proline 21 updated, as did the UNS. Flight Planning Edition was locked after doing a Medivac mission, they fixed that. Nav data has been updated to 2412 on the ARAC cycle. Fixed an issue where terminal VORs appeared as en route intersections. Okay. The EFB, a couple of issues fixed there. Aircraft tech, fixed an issue with colored text on aircraft. Yeah. Model behavior. There's a couple of things here, look. So, fix hide, unhide of skinned mesh objects. Okay, fixed regression with the RPN parser, misinterpreting some variable names. That could be interesting. Fixed an issue where the Epic 2 display unit behavior wasn't working, and so on. Modular aircraft got an update. Aircraft gameplay, ATC, sometimes denying VFR clearance. Passive aircraft added the Air Mexico and Korean Air liveries to the 787. Fixed catering truck position, improvements on lighting on trucks in Japan, preventing LODs to pop on the pushback. Okay. Added the ability to change the name of a company in your career. All right. Byron, that's interesting. Nice. Shagged. General career bug fixes, there's a lot. And I think overall, a lot of folks on career, they haven't fixed everything, but I think for a lot of people, it's fixed quite enough to get them to keep going. right? And there were a couple of small things, like it's some airports are still kind of, you know, bugged out, but I think for the most part, career mode is now getting a little bit better. Missions are going to be the same. Aerial advertising, agricultural, cargo, the hook, fixed the drop precision one, charter service, fixed debug, text and private charter, but I still don't think there's enough charter aircraft, right? Just had a CTD selecting the Kodiak. So, so the Kodiak is now probably going to need another update, you know, I imagine. What else? Fixed the, they've added the scientific research to the 208 as well. Online services, fixed career title on main menu staying locked. Nice. Remove some packages that have been added during development for feature test purposes. That's grand. The world updates, and then they go into like all different airports. They fixed LODs, they fixed textures, the deluxe airports, premium airports, and then the world updates also got a number of fixes because a lot of them, the LOD was a problem. The level of level of distance or level of detail. Basically, you could be flying along and out of nowhere, poof, you know, the friggin' gherkin in London would appear, or, you know, in other places. So they fixed all of those, and these are all Orbex updates, by the way. These are Orbex updates. So they have, you know, they know what all the POIs are. So they've done a number of fixes there, which is great. So I imagine Orbex are flat out working on this, tweaking the POIs and the LOD. Removed grass, plants and rocks from tins blobs. Haven't a clue what that means, but let's see what happens. Air traffic, adding lights on several passive aircraft. That's a huge thing. Added the option to disable and enable items in your library, and added possibility to visualize community content in my library. Unsure what we can do there. They've also done a couple of updates and fixes for the peripherals, in particular when it comes to the valve index, the HTC Vive controls, mixed reality controllers, and so on. They've also changed a couple of buttons. Here's the Puma. Mapped parking brakes to button 26. Again, that's only for using the default ones. Various fixes then have been added to left and right actions missing from helicopters and lighter than air vehicles, and so on and so on. There's quite a few of them there. Activities, backward compatibility, training missions, world photographer, audio, fixed the music sometimes being cut while loading, dev mode fixed, exit dev mode option always being grayed out. I think that's a huge thing for them. But there's something else they wanted, like a quick restart, if I'm not mistaken. Not there. Anyway, hopefully it comes in soon. In general, fixed a crash that could occur when closing dev mode in Windows from Windows. Fixed layout issues, fixed and improved scenery package order, fixed texture paths, and the VFS projector now grants access to encrypted files that are not protected. Some are, some aren't. Scenery editor got a fair bit of fixes there as well, as did the sim object editor. The SDK have fixed the maximum number of terrain instances, the windsock model behavior, and also the XML gauge conditional text color. Fixed the WASM gauge on aircraft. Samples, added a sample to show how to use new function. Added a new blend. Add new sample for windsock. Added new sample that shows how to mod existing aircraft. Now, there's some SimConnect stuff here, because I did ask nicely. I don't see it. They have removed the Donal O pop-up, because that was a real pain in the ass. They fixed aircraft spawning on the same parking spot when spawned with SimConnect. They added extended functions to SimConnect to specify livery when spawning a sim object. That could be interesting. Implemented SimConnect enumerate sim object and livery function that returns a list of spawnable sim objects and their liveries. Again, I'm not quite sure what this does. This is kind of traffic injection. SimVars have been done as well, added access to the environment and fixed Zulu time. The WASM API has been updated. This has, I imagine this gives the likes of PMDG the green light to get through some of the WASM errors that they were having. It was actually stopping them from upgrading or updating the 777 freighter to work inside the sim. I'm hoping that fixes it. Blender, a couple of fixes here as well. And what else? Adjustments to standard shader, and so on and so on. Lads, it's a massive patch. Huge patch. And even with this patch, with all the items, all 100 and odd of them, of all the items that they've checked off, it's a great patch, but there's still more needed. And it's unlikely now we're going to get any more before the holidays. It's a great response from Microsoft and Asobo, right? I mean, the team they've put out an absolute, like, lads, that's a huge patch, right? So let's see where we go from here. Hopefully that, it's going to get more folks flying. It's going to get more people involved in the sim. And, the number of folks who are still having issues is going to be reduced something fierce. That's what we want. Is Toby fixed? Yeah, I think so. Richie Ricardo, good to see you. Evening, was obvious that they were not going to do anything big before Christmas. Who does? Well, this is pretty big. This is Toby IUI is still shagged though, says Petrolhead. The PC24 is still broken. One Fly Air, good to see you. So like the PC24 is completely shagged still. Like what the devil is up with that? Like, I mean, that's a game breaking problem. That should have been fixed. That really should have been fixed. But listen, I'm unsure. Are we going to get any more patches or updates? My understanding is the aircraft, if they're being streamed, they're going to be updated in the background. So we won't see those. If Nace is here, he might be able to tell us more, because I know Nace was saying there was going to be an absolute blast of updates coming out on some of the aircraft he was working on. Overall, it's a big step in the right direction. I agree. Not completely. Only half the switches and indicators are shagged. Okay, so it's working, but it's flyable. Okay. Sai I have a game starting problem. Sai, did you even manage to get into the sim yet? And like, because your hardware is bang on, so I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. Coronado updated a bunch of aircraft, says Iron Man. Yeah, so I imagine that's going to be done server side, lads. That's the hope. But it is a step in the right direction. It is a massive response from Microsoft and Asobo. Like, it's huge. It's a huge patch, right? Only to the main menu. Are you serious? Captain Kremen, good to see you. Sai, are you getting any feedback from Zendesk? I mean, they should be able to hold your hand here and get this sorted for you. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you should be able to get into the sim. You have the hardware. So it's got to be Windows or permissions or something stopping you, man. But anyway, that's it from the update from Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Let's see what happens. So moving on, Leonardo have announced the free Mad Dog upgrade for Flight Sim 2024, and it's going to include an upcoming visual overhaul. Leonardo Software House has shared exciting news for fans of the Mad Dog, the highly detailed simulation of their MD-80. The developers have confirmed that the Mad Dog X will be updated to work natively within the sim, offering the upgrade free of charge to existing owners of the 2020 version. I am actually kind of happy about this story, and the reason being is the Mad Dog is the most expensive aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's 110 quid or something. It's huge. But now they're giving you a free upgrade. So this is kind of cool, right? Anyway, the announcement comes as the team addresses the challenges of adapting their add-ons to a new sim. As a new platform, it's been a learning curve for us as well, say the developers. Despite the growing pains, Leonardo remains optimistic. We're confident that the final result will be worth the wait. They stated, signalling that the Mad Dog X will continue to hold its place among the most detailed airliner simulations available. So, the devs have reassured users the transition to Flight Sim 24, it's well underway, promising compatibility with the new platform as a native upgrade. No specific release date has been provided, but they say it's just behind the corner. So I'm expecting Q1, right? The enhanced visuals and sound also coming. So they said the hard at work for several months to bring add-ons up to the 2020 standards, with improvements to the 3D modelling, textures, and the sounds. The upgrades aim to address one of the few criticisms of the Mad Dog, which kind of stems from the origins as it was ported from P3D. The enhanced visuals and sounds will be offered as an optional expansion, allowing current owners to upgrade their experience only if they choose, and details remain sparse with no screenshots or release dates. One thing I will say, if anyone who owns the Mad Dog, I think we can all agree, that is an incredible aircraft. It's a very deep simulation of that aircraft. It's incredible. There are a couple of issues when it comes to textures, but you know what? I think the trade-off was performance. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think we'll all agree, we don't fly this aircraft enough, and we should, because it's really, really good, right? I didn't see any mention of the 172 electrical system being fixed. No, they did, Paul. I'm almost certain they did. Lack of an ETA or preview for the optional expansion leaves room for speculation. The announcement reassures users that the Mad Dog will remain a key aircraft in the ecosystem. So it's going to be a free upgrade, or if you wish, you can buy the aircraft now. It's still around $100 though, $110, but it'll be a free upgrade into 2024. That's huge news. Now, PMDG, they have released their 777 freighter. This is out in 2020, and I haven't got it yet. I've been looking at it, and pretty nice, pretty nice. It's available for $54.99, And there's no kind of upgrade path if you've already purchased the 777 300, I think it is. Which that's kind of grinding my gears a bit because, you know, if you already bought a 777, wouldn't it be nice to get an upgrade module? And if you never bought the 777, then you pay full price. It's just the way PMDG charge, but I don't like it. That's just my opinion. Fantastic aircraft. It doesn't take anything away from the quality or, you know, the work that they've put into it. I just think it's a bit kind of crap. You know, if you throw out 70 quid for the 777 and then you see the freighter, if you give out another 55 quid, like what? Do you know what I mean? That's my opinion, but that's what I think. But anyway, the 777 has though been released, and bit of head scratching again with this one. It's not just a fancy livery update. They've actually gone and done a whole load of work to this thing visually, and also with the operation, including the cargo doors, the loading, all that jazz, the weight and balance. It's all there. It's actually very, very good. And of course, the 777 freighter, very, very popular. The release is specifically for 2020 right now, and there's big red writing all over the... If you've already bought the 777, you have 90% of the F model already. Well, that's the other thing. It's only released for 2020 at the minute. On their website, big red writing, it does not work in Flight Sim 2024. Not yet. They are, however, planning to do a free upgrade to make it work in Flight Sim 2024. So, if you really want this aircraft, it's going to work just fine in 2020. And again, lads, 2020 isn't going anywhere. I mean, it's that is the sim, right? But if you want to, you know, if you want to start flying the 777, well, you can grab it, and you can expect a free upgrade to the 2024 version once they're able to do it. That's what they're saying. Be careful what you say about PMDG. They're giving fractions to people who talk the truth against them. It's all conspiracy. No, look, they make some incredible aircraft. They really do. And here they've released the 777 freighter. It's great to see it, and you know, all going well. They just want to do a free upgrade into Flight Sim 2024. So if you're on the fence about getting it or not getting it, well, if you want to fly it, just get it. It's gonna work in 24 eventually, but it doesn't work just yet. So we need to keep an eye open. Anyway, the feature list of this aircraft, absolutely incredible. It's everything you would expect from a PMDG aircraft. I mean, that developer, they don't need any sort of introduction. Their stuff is just very, very good. They have a lot of competition now, but their stuff is very good. And for a big heavy like that, that's pretty sweet. So moving on, Flight Simware have released the Learjet 35A cargo expansion for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is pretty cool. Almost a year since they introduced the iconic Lear 35, and they're now offering simmers a new way to experience the aircraft with a cargo expansion pack. The add-on transforms the sleek business jet into a capable cargo hauler, presenting an appealing option for simmers interested in stepping into the world of freight operations. The Learjet 35A cargo expansion, not just a cosmetic upgrade, it introduces new features, liveries, and functionality specifically designed for cargo missions. There's a bit of a video here for only about 3 minutes. We can have a look. And coming this November. Jesus, lads, we need a bit of music and everything for this one. Hang on a second. The cargo expansion. Like, a lovely fancy jet like that, and you're going to be putting cargo in. That's pretty cool. I love a flight simware too. Let's load passengers. Wait, what? I do love what this developer is doing. They've made some cracking aircraft over the years. The 414, this, and of course the C-24. Really beautiful aircraft. And it's great now to see that you have a cargo expansion, you know, horsed in there just for good measure. I think the aircraft is still in... I think it's still in early access, but this is from Flight Simware. It's really, really good. I know you guys fly it quite a bit. Kill the music. The expansion includes 3 avionics options, traditional setup with your GNSs, along with integration for the PMS or TDS 750 units. Additionally, it features 8 new liveries tailored for cargo operations, and the interior has also been updated to reflect the same. It's a fast and agile airplane, and the cargo variant has even more versatility. So, what else do we have here? With Microsoft Flight Sim 24 introducing career mode, the Lear 35A cargo seems like a natural fit for the new sim. Unfortunately, while the aircraft appears to function well, it doesn't yet take advantage of any of the new features, and it doesn't integrate with career mode. Now, in saying that, Flight Simware are adding patches quite a lot. They're putting bits and pieces in for Flight Sim 2024 compatibility. So there is stuff happening, which is great to see. But you can pick up the expansion pack for this aircraft. It's a paid upgrade. It's $14.99 from Flight Simware's official store. You can also pick it up on Sim Market, but it does require the base package. Right? Flight Simware are putting the feelers out too, asking people if they want a Medivac version. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, it is. It's going to be class. Roy says, doesn't matter if it'll be a free upgrade or not. I just think the 777 freighter is a beautiful plane for 2020. Also, the 777, Flight Factor's 777 is awesome in next plane. Yeah, like BMDG haven't guaranteed it's going to be free. They want it to be free, but it depends what depends what hoops they, have to jump through. Which, makes sense. But anyway, Flight Simware's Learjet, I know you guys fly this quite a bit. I haven't flown this in ages. I need to take it out for an old jaunt. And I'll pick up that expansion pack just to see how the cargo stuff works. Now, we're going to be checking out this aircraft tonight. iniBuilds, the A300 gets a new update, including Microsoft Flight Sim compatibility. iniBuilds have updated their Airbus to version 1.13 for the sim, which brings many fixes. And with the update, it includes a number of fixes to the models, systems, and also a Flight Sim 24 compatible version, which is being released in a beta state. While the product is functional, iniBuilds have identified a couple of areas that need some work. They will do the job on it. Some of the known issues include terrain display, loss of overhead, Corey switch and ambient sounds when switching views, random TCAS errors and network errors, but they are working on it. But they've also announced the A300-600 Premium version for Microsoft Flight Sim, and the version takes advantage of Flight Sim 24's technology, all the new features and improvements. Some of the new features include improved ground handling, enhanced aerodynamics, new interaction points on the pre-flight walk-around, interactive engine cowlings, cargo doors, entry and exit points, EFB enhancements, and also some sound improvements and more. The A300 Premium version is only for Flight Sim 2024, and it'll be $9.99 upgrade for those who already had the A300. Or if you haven't got either of them, if you're a brand new customer, it's going to cost you $44.99. There's a changelog there where they're working on both the 2020 and introducing some of the features on the 2024 model. It's quite a big update as well. It's a free update if you're on 2020, and they're making it compatible. Just bear in mind, there's a couple of bits and bobs there that aren't currently working in the sim. They'll work on it. iniBuilds are very fast getting the updates out. We've seen that with the T33. That's already native now in 2024. So we have this aircraft on the ramp. We're going to be checking it out, but you can see all these new features from Flight Sim 24. Great stuff. Great stuff. So great stuff from iniBuilds there. Now, FS Labs. I was thinking long and hard looking at this last night. I was going to buy it and jump into the sim and go flying it. Conti jumped in. I was watching his stream last night. The FS Labs Airbus A321. It's the CEO variant, and it's for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and they finally released it. This is not a cheap add-on. This is expensive. However, Flight Sim Labs, they have a huge history making aircraft from P3D. There's also a lot of turbulent air around them, if you're aware of them. But anyway, what this aircraft has done, or what FS Labs have done, well, they're focusing on features that haven't happened yet, which is nice. It's refreshing. Their EFB looks to be insane. Some of the effects that they have with all the weather, including the accumulation of water and ice and snow on surfaces, right? On the wings and all this kind of stuff. So you're getting a lot of visual enhancements with the aircraft, and the lighting, lads, it's absolutely spectacular. Spectacular, right? The competition these guys have is Phoenix, right? So they have to do a good job to get it out the gate. But yes, the FS Labs, I mean, if you've no interest in getting another A321, which I get, right? A lot of people, another Airbus. These guys are also working on Concorde. So start looking at the A321 because it'll give you an idea of what FS Labs can do. And they can do some serious simulation. Really, really good. So their A321 is now released. For me, I'm not mad excited. I'm more thinking what this thing is going to be like. But I'm going to pick it up. Of course I'm going to pick it up. And we'll go flying in it for sure to show you. But this to me is a real kind of a taster of what this developer can do in the modern sims, especially when it comes to Concorde. For anyone who wants an A321 CEO, or if you were looking forward to this, it has thus far proven to be a very strong release. It's supposed to be brilliant. So if you're interested in seeing this, if you'd like to see this on the stream, let me know. I'll pick it up and we'll go at it next week if you'd like. Just let me know. Just tell me, Murph, grab that. It's pricey though. It ain't the cheapest. It's like 90 quid or 85 quid or something like that. But it's the hype didn't really have much hype around it. You know, this wasn't like everyone is going to start streaming it. And yet it is performing in all the areas, right? It's a real training pilot's plane, not a fly around with your mates in a group plane. Well, look, an add-on is an add-on. But what the developers are going for here, because they have a whole load of different simulations built into it, and they're not just visual. I mean, they simulate friggin' GPS jamming. They simulate all sorts of failures, which is really great to see. And, you know, FS Labs, they have components and conduits that are used in real-world flight simulators. So it's pretty good, right? Tango Delta's here. Good to see you. Sounds good. Yeah, sounds really good. Black Box is impressed with it. Yeah. It looks great. It really does. So the features all new visual model, high fidelity systems, experience fully operational and interactive systems, electrical and environmental controls, accurate flight dynamics, enhanced features like offsets, step altitudes, required time of arrival, constant Mach function, and so on. It has a custom MEL system, experience operational challenges with randomized system defects that can dynamically alter your planning and decision-making processes. Adapt and follow real-world procedures with assistance from your EFB. Cold weather operations fully integrated with icing, realistic snow and ice accumulation, dynamically affecting the performance and the visual fidelity. So as I'm saying, there's like snow will accumulate on the wings. It'll know it because the aircraft will react differently. GPS jamming simulation, that's the first I've seen in Microsoft Flight Sim. Encounter real-world navigation challenges with GPS-denied scenarios. And that can happen. There's a list of airports where that's a thing. Integrate with third-party services like GSX is there. SimBrief is already good to go. And enhanced dynamic visual effects, including windshield ice and bug impacts. This is for 2020. Atmospheric phenomena such as the St. Elmo's fire, and also realistic wear and tear. This is all from Flight Sim 2020. The aircraft is only available for Flight Sim 2020 at this time. They hope to bring it to 24. But yeah, it looks really, really good. But it's for me it's a hard sell because like the Phoenix A321 is awesome, even though they're slightly different engines. But it's really, really good. But this is super exciting to see Flight Sim Labs finally pushing out their releases. And for me, it's got to be Concorde. There's nothing like Concorde, and these guys are making one because they released it on P3D. Was it last year? I think it was last year they released it on P3D, and it was like absolutely class, right? But anyway, other huge news here from Just Flight. The RJ Professional gets a new update, and it also now has compatibility for Flight Sim 2024. Just Flight have been out the door busy trying to get this one out. A recently released aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the RJ Professional, which follows on from the BAE 46 that was released a while back. The latest patch includes fixes, enhancements, and also compatibility with Flight Sim 2024. This new 1.2 version brings compatibility with the new sim, significant changes to the interior and the exterior lighting, it has GSX fixes, EFB fixes, and it also updates the manuals, which there are a lot of manuals for this, right? The BAE 146, a cracker, right? The Avro RJ, it just builds on from that. And in the real world, the differences between both aircraft, the Avro RJ was, they wanted to modernize it. So they put in glass, they made the engines a little bit kind of more Greta friendly, and they upgraded the cabin, right? But they had to keep the aircraft as close as they possibly could to the operation of the BAE because, well, they didn't want pilots having to go off and do ground school again. So they're quite similar, but they're very different aircraft because the systems are different. There's a lot more automation in the Avro RJ. It is a different aircraft. You'll know instantly when you're trying to fly them because, oh, wait, where's that button go? Or how do I get this system up and running? There's a lot of automation and there's a ton of glass in them, right? But this is an outstanding product from Just Flight, and the fact that they now have it compatible in Flight Sim 2024, this is definitely on my list of flights to do soon. And well, it's great news from Just Flight. Bring on the Vulcan, please, and everything else. So yeah, that's it. It's a free upgrade if you have it. If you don't already have this aircraft, you can pick it up for about £52. It's about a $60 aircraft, but it's very, very good. The work that they put into this, real world recordings of the sounds and so on, brilliant. Is the 146 updated? I don't think so, not yet. Now, Flight Sim Studio also did an update to their E-Jet family. The Workhorse Regional Jet sees another update with functionality and bug fixes. Flight Sim Studio, they've been kept busy. The update for 2020 brings the regional version, or the regional jets, to version 0.9.34. We've packed some new features into this. The changelog of the features includes improvements to the hydraulic system, the FADEC, throttle behavior, ground steering, and more. So a number of fixes for the 2020 stuff. The FADEC, which has been completely updated as well. And it also has the realistically performance of the 3-minute electrical and hydraulic power-up built-in test, displaying an ECAS messages on the appropriate MFD pages. So they're adding more in. Taxi behavior has been tweaked. Auto throttle disconnect has been tweaked. GSX automation have been simplified to make boarding and deboarding and pushback that little bit easier. And also the landing distance calculator, which was a user community request that a calculator for all variants will be provided, and we're looking good. In the announcement, Flight Sim Studio indicate the adoption of the E-Jet family for 2024 is progressing well, and they intend to provide a free compatibility update by the end of the year. So that's good news. The E-Jets, they're going to have them working in Flight Sim 2024 as 2020 aircraft, but they hope to have that up and running by the end of the year. This aircraft had a terrible shaky start when it was first released because, well, a lot of people didn't read the small print. It was early access. But these are getting better and better and better. This is exciting to see what they're doing with it. So all the bug fixes and improvements. Good stuff. Now, got friends, they've announced a new aircraft. It's the AS-33ME glider for Flight Sim. And got friends, well known for their light aircraft, helicopters, and alternative modes of travel, such as the paddle wheeler, the Astra 1, and even a canoe. Got friends were named as a first-party partner. And we know the aircraft they've already added into the sim, the Draco, the Norden, and of course some gliders. Godfriends have continued to develop their own third-party lineup, and this one is going to be the Schleicher, the AS-33ME. A self-launching glider, has a wingspan of 18 meters to optimize airflow, the wing and fuselage transition, and the wingtips. It's based upon the older ASG-29, which had been in production since 2006. Also be equipped with a solo 2350 engine providing just 18 horsepower, meaning capable of extending glide whilst in flight. Godfriends have promised to recreate the aircraft and harness the full potential of Flight Sim 2020 and 2024 being designed to deliver unparalleled realism and immersion and to be the finest glider to date. Very little information has been provided to date, but it is confirmed that the team will be producing the electrically powered AS-33 version with aerodynamic precision and utilising real-world modern cockpit to help virtual pilots fly an accurate version type in both simulators, 2020 and 2024. They plan to release this in early 2025. We'll keep an eye on it. It's a nice-looking machine. And, yeah, gliders, I don't know. Terrible pun, but, are they taking off? Are you guys flying them? I have yet to try the gliders. I have yet to try Godfriend's gliders in the sim. That's on my list of things to do. Now, Miltech Simulations, they have updated their CH47D for the sim. A free update brings native compatibility and new features. So in a post on their Facebook page, Miltech Simulations announced that the CH47D is now natively compatible with Flight Sim 2024. The free update brings new features and improvements specifically to 2024 to the tandem rotor military heavy lift helicopter. Miltech say that the cockpit, airframe and systems have all been converted to 2024 standards, with the LODs adjusting to avoid culling. The included sceneries and missions have also been improved, and a walk-around mode, avatar spawn points and new 2024 specific effects have been added. Lighting and the systems have been fixed and implemented as well to prevent hangs and excessive memory consumption. Nice stuff here. The addition to the helicopter Miltech simulations package for 2020 and 2024 includes several complementary sceneries and scenes to enhance the experience. It includes RAF Odiham in Hampshire, the Bryant Airfield in Alaska, and the Chablis Airfield in Djibouti. The fictional Camp Resilience in Jordan and also the Al Sahar base in Kuwait have also been included. Sweet. We're going to check this one out tonight. An upcoming version for both the sim is promised to include an optional refueling probe, toggle blade tie downs, a PMS-50 GPS integration, chaff flare effects, and addressing the map EFB flickering issues. So we can, that's pretty good news. So there's another one on the way. You can pick up this aircraft now for $35.99. At the time of this article, it's on sale right now if you want to grab it from the developer's website, the CH47. This is an awesome chopper. We flew that only a couple of months back. Great news from Miltech. They've been fairly busy. Now, big news today in the land of scenery. MK Studios have released Zurich Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. And they've released their detailed rendition of Zurich International Airport for the sim. And the release attempts to capture the essence of Switzerland's busiest airport with an impressive combination of visuals and realism. We have a video here if you want to check it out, just for a little moment or so, and I'll play some music. This needs a bit of, doesn't it? What might work for, or what might work? We'll do one of these. Yes. Big shout out to Aviation Lands. I gotta say, the Flight Sim 2024 visuals, aren't they absolutely stunning? The lighting, all the objects, look at the grass. Incredible stuff. So Zurich from MK Studios has been released, and it looks absolutely incredible, lads. So very well done, of course, to the guys over at MK Studios. Rumour has it they're working on an upgrade for Dublin, and let's see how that goes. But yeah, if you want to be flying in and out of Zurich, the airport is available right now. You can pick it up on Contrail, SimMarket or Orbex, priced in and around €18. And it does look amazing. Some of these pictures, I mean, they're photo quality, aren't they? They're absolutely gorgeous. And MK Studios, they're a developer who, they just go from strength to strength. I mean, they really do. They've been putting out some really, really nice ones. So, I mean, look at that shot right there, look. Incredible stuff, you know. So, yeah, great news there from MK Studios. Now, UK 2000 scenery, they've released Guernsey Airport for Microsoft 2020 and 24. One of the main airports on the Channel Islands have arrived in the sim, courtesy of UK 2000, available for both platforms. The add-on brings detailed rendition of the airport, offering simmers the perfect opportunity to explore the island's charm. Guernsey Airport mightn't be the largest, but it is an important connection point. Okay, just 2.5 nautical miles southwest of St. Peter Port. The airport is the main gateway for flights to and from the UK. With the new release, UK 2000 scenery gives virtual pilots a chance to experience the airport's unique character and flying opportunity. I watched the Flying Reporter fly out here in the real world on YouTube. Check out his channel, The Flying Reporter. Really, really good. But yeah, Guernsey, superb place to go flying. Great for GA trips, you know, go from England down to Guernsey and then tip across down into France. Really, really nice. The features full detailed buildings, realistic ground markings, high-res image, stunning night effects, so on and so on. To make the most of this add-on, just download the common library, and well, you can pick this up for about £10 plus VAT. Relatively cheap, but yeah, looks nice. Guernsey Airport, good stuff from UK 2000. Now, real world scenery. They've released the Grand Junction Regional Airport, Kilo Golf Juliet Tango, in a box, man. Thank you very much indeed for the resub. 8 months, man. Good to see you. So yeah, this one, real world scenery, Grand Junction Regional, located in Mesa County in Colorado, known as the largest airport in Western Colorado, the third largest in the state. It's a significant hub for the region. Scenery is now available to purchase on Sim Market, and with availability on Real World Scenery website soon. A release on the marketplace is planned within the next couple of weeks. 100% custom-made, highly detailed buildings, realistic high-definition ground markings and HDR ground imagery, enhanced lighting effects, and so on. There's only a couple of pictures here. There's no video, which is kind of interesting. They really need to make videos. Scenery with just pictures, it's a huge missed opportunity. But anyway, Grand Junction Regional, located just 3 miles northeast of Grand Junction, offering scenic approaches in and around Colorado's unique landscape. Flying anywhere up this neck of the woods, incredible, right? Is there any decent free scenery, something to see how it runs and looks? For Flight Sim 24, like, there are a lot of free sceneries out there. Some of them are absolutely incredible. Some of the payware ones, they need videos to show them off. And, you know, Gibbo kind of said the same back in 2020 days. You know, sceneries are great and all, but like, they become very samey. As in, they're all coming in at different price points, but what, apart from like an accurate rendition of an airport, what's the draw to get you to go flying there? Unless, of course, you want to go to that airport, or it's your local airport, or, do you know what I mean? You need features now to draw you into it. Hey, Warhamster's here. Good to see you, Hammy. Bernie says Frankfurt would be a good one. Yeah, Aviotech, that's really good. Let me see there. Is it Himid? Weird. I'm flying to the airport in real life next week. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, so there you go. So you can pick up that scenery right now. Did it give a price? What is the price of this? Let's check out Sim Market. It's $15.98. That's with taxes, so it's about $12, give or take. Yeah, there's some more pictures here, actually. This might actually do a little bit of detail. Okay, so we have the interiors. I mean, the textures here, well, pictures don't do these things any good. You got to see the things moving. Plenty of detail here, though. I like the hangars. They've got an interior there in the hangar. That's decent. Ground markings look pretty sweet. The hangar's pretty detailed. That's nice. The vehicles, yeah, it's all kind of default-ish. West Star, that's all located there. Textures and all that, they look great. Aviators Memorial Park, that's a nice touch. They got some nice museum piece items out there. Yeah, it needs a video, lads, doesn't it? Jesus, that's savage looking. Although, look at the building. They've been let down with the lighting on the building. That's pretty basic now, to be fair. The reflections are great, but like, that's using default assets. But the lighting on the building, that's not great. It's like, you know what I mean? White, pure white. That doesn't make sense at all. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's very Roblox looking. I mean, if you were to say that's Roblox, people say, hey, look, he's playing Roblox. Videos, scenery developers, we love you, but please put videos with your stuff, because, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's now released, so you can go ahead and grab that. Now, Lysium Design previews Riga Airport. A relatively new developer have shared a range of new previews for its upcoming Riga Airport, Echo Victor Romeo Alpha, and the new previews were shared on their Facebook page. Relatively new developer called Lysium Design, and showcasing Riga Airport just outside the main city of Riga in Latvia. Airliners such as Norwegian, Air Shuttle, Ryanair, and SmartLynx regularly frequent the airport, and destinations include many parts of Germany, France, Spain, and beyond. All the preview pictures that we have here, again, there's no video. That's interesting with the bokeh effects, but they've done the interior. The lighting looks superb. Ramp textures, yeah, nothing wrong there. Interior, again, looking good. Duty free. You know. Let's see what this one's going to be. It's a preview, no release date yet, but yeah, someone who wants to look at Riga, there's an option there. One of the chaps helped me out when I was running after a chap. He saw me running and clotheslined the chap. Amy, did you have an interesting day at work? Jesus. Awesome. Now, in other news, Flight Sim Expo tickets go on sale next week. I think it's this weekend. Tickets go on sale next week, starting from around $50 for a limited people for a limited time. Flight Sim Expo, of course, being held in Rhode Island, in Providence, between June 27th and 29th. Lads, help us out. If you're going to Flight Sim Expo in person next year, stick an L1 into the chat, if you can, right? Just so we know what's happening. This is going to be my third Flight Sim Expo. I think it's absolutely incredible. It's so great getting to meet people. And that's, for me, that's what it's all about. It's great to meet the devs and, you know, see what hardware and the new stuff coming out. That's awesome. But getting to meet the people, flight simmers, doesn't matter if you're a developer, content creator, or just a normal flight simmer, it's absolutely incredible getting the chance to meet so many people. And, you know, it's you put a whole load of flight simmers into a building. It's always going to be a good time. Go for a beer, go for a drink, just have an old chat, and walk around and get to meet some people. It is awesome. So the tickets go on sale this weekend on December 14th. Do be sure to grab them. And yeah, we'll be seeing you in the Rhode Island Convention Centre on the 27th of June. So it's going to be fun. Muse says one, at least that's the plan. Go on, Muse, you can do it. The chances of me running are very slim. Adam Controls is going. Old Veteran, of course, will be there. Sparker and VR will be there. Heisenberg is going as well. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like from a European perspective, flying to Providence isn't too bad. It's about a 6-hour flight from where I am in Ireland, which isn't bad. You know, it was 11 hours. It was 11 hours flying, but took 2 flights to get to Vegas. Right, that was loads of fun. I'd love to go, but we're going to Disney Orlando next April, says Daza. Ooh. Now, you also have FS Weekend. That's in the Netherlands, and that's happening in March next year. I'm planning to go to that as well. It's on Paddy's weekend, though. Jesus, I'm going to be absolutely locked. But it'd be grand. It's great to see you, lads. But anyway, Flight Sim Expo, if you can't attend in person, well, just stick with us. You know, we'll have everything on our Discord. We do our own streams live from the place, and yeah, I try to cover as much as I can, but it's fantastic. Ali's trying to put together a meetup in the Netherlands. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'm going to try and get out to the Netherlands. That'll be pretty cool. So that's Flight Sim Expo. Now, VATSIM events over the weekend. We'll have a quick look here. There is a event happening this Saturday between 1700 and 2300 Zulu. Fly and see Santa. Brilliant. So VATSIM Scandinavia invites you to take part in a journey to the home of the original Santa Claus, just in time for the Christmas holiday. Fly and see Santa, the largest annual Christmas event in the VATSIM skies. Well, it takes place at 3 airports in the northernmost reaches of Europe. Experience the magic of snow-covered landscapes, icy runways as we arrive at Rovaniemi and Tromsø and Kiruna airports, nestled in the stunning wilderness of northern Europe. Throughout December, the airspace buzzes with flights full of passengers eager to visit Santa's winter wonderland, and we hope you'll join us for this unforgettable event. Pilots without a booking are to expect reroutes and diversions, even delays. Pilots are strongly advised to refrain from flying without a booked slot. So they want you to book it. Worth nothing, the slots are fully booked. Well, even if it's fully booked, you can still go flying there. It'll just be pandemonium. So it'll be interesting. Murph will be going to admire the view. I will, Tob, I will. Brilliant. Bookings open and close December 13th. So you're saying they're already full. That could be interesting. Hank is here. Good to see you. I'm heading to Australia on the 24th of December. 7 hours to stop over. Then another 12 hours to Perth. Eesh. Oh, yeah. December 15th, we're connecting up with CHU for an event, says Old Veteran. Nice. Sweet. Right, lads, that thus includes and finishes the news. So we're going to jump back in here now. Hopefully the sim will react. It does. Excellent stuff. So here we are looking at the Airbus A300-600. This is from iniBuilds. It's available right now. And if you're a 2020 owner, well, you can either get the compatible version for Flight Sim 24, which needs an update, or you can... that's for free, or you can get an upgraded price of about $9.99, or you can buy the aircraft as a standalone for about 60 quid, give or take. The features: detailed custom FMS with SID stars, SEC flight plan, custom VNAV and LNAV, altitude and speed constraints and holds, enhanced aerodynamics, fuselage and engines now use the 2024 tech for better airflow, especially notable in crosswinds, improved ground handling, updated the flight model with dynamic wheel deformation placed on aircraft weight, or based on it, tyres realistically deform depending on the load, reflecting their high nitrogen pressure. The drag profile has also been adjusted, engine covers and chocks are also there now and controlled with the EFB, and modular systems have been rebuilt for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Quality improvements on a handful of the cockpit decals, cabin and load models have been attached dynamically, boosts performance and reduces your GPU load. Many textures have been reduced, optimized and recreated, with no detail lost to a performance in Flight Sim 24. The exterior and interior lights have been overhauled, and they've tweaked the sounds, master sound level adjusted, AI sound tweaks, engine start mixing changes, so on and so on and so on. This is a huge update from iniBuilds. So yeah, great to see. We're going to go messing around with it. So from the exterior, as I said, I'm in a UPS livery, and you can download the additional liveries from the iniBuilds Ini Manager, right? This is a cool looking aircraft. It comes with both passenger and cargo configuration. These are an old aircraft. I mean, it's an Airbus with a yoke, and well, it's got to be cargo. I think these are just proper cargo haulers. But yeah, this is a beautiful looking machine. The detail on this is absolutely incredible, lads. The textures, I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Look at the detailing. It's incredible look. Really, really impressive. Even the decals here, look. And I suppose you don't see an awful lot of, like, these, I don't want to call it a classic jet, but like, it's not far off it. Look at the tires there. Look at that. It's showing you the weight of it. Is it coming to Xbox? I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. But look at the tires. Like, the weight of the aircraft is sitting down on it. That's all new features. Again, the textures are absolutely phenomenal, and the modelling on this is just beautiful. And this is a big plane. Like, these are a huge aircraft. Looking into the gear well here, again, the level of detail, the textures, I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? Like, look at the springs, look. They're only flat on the bottom. Yeah. Well, yeah. Big Bridgestone tires. Look at the detail on them. They brake fans. Jacking operation. Look at the detail, look. Bit of texture in there, look. Flickering. Interesting. I wonder, is that me NVIDIA DLSS, I wonder. Great work on the livery, and like the reflections and just the detail, lads. Access to rudder actuators. Very impressive, isn't it? LOD is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So they've done great work on the exterior. Let us ramble in here to the interior. And again, it's what you see on the outside. Well, they've replicated it very, very well on the inside. It also has the iniBuilds Cargo Manager. I'd love to see this on the A400. That would just be wonderful. So you can kind of customize the type of cargo you're carrying. This one here seems to be engine parts and engines. As you do. Two big massive friggin' engines thrown in there for the crack. And DHL cargo in a UPS plane. That makes sense. But found a little bug here. iniBuilds! Murphy found a bug. Because I'm brilliant. So the decals for the door is sticking. See, that's what, you know what I mean? I find this kind of stuff. I need to tell iniBuilds this. Lads, you missed the spot. And then they're going to be like, well, Murphy, you don't do airliners. And I'd be like, no, but look what I can find. But anyway, again, the static elements, incredible stuff. Loading, you have all the chocks removed before flight. You have all the jazz. I don't think we can jump up and down the stairs, though. Let's see what we can do. So we'll jump back into the cockpit. And we'll throw the cockpit in a minute. Here's outside the airplane. I don't think we can run up those stairs, lads. Oh, you can! Ah, that's deadly! Well done, iniBuilds. You're absolute geniuses. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Right, we need to remove our before flight, so let's have a look here. So I think we can do this from the tablet, or we can only do it from the tablet. That's my understanding. Yeah, so I can't remove that chock, fair enough. What about the engine covers? Yeah, so I think all of this is going to be controlled by the EFB. Which is grand, to be honest, right? Because a lot of people don't want to be doing the walkarounds. We're finding that more and more. So let's run in here now. Can we get in any further? No. No, we're kind of stuck there. All right. Now we'll jump in. Okay, so is my view out here reset? It is. Right, let us jump into the flight deck. And again, this is a huge flight deck, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Gorgeous. Question is, can you fall down the stairs, right? You know, we can move out to the back here. We can look at the loading area. And even with the loading area, I'm pretty sure we can control this stuff. What's that closing? It's thinking about it. I wonder. You can use this control. Cargo compartment area. Entry area. So there's the lighting. Cargo door operation. Close. Unlocked. Ah, look. There she is. It works. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So we can close the door. And can we lock the door now is the question. Latched. And now she's latched. How cool is that? Ah, that's awesome, isn't it? Does the flight deck door slam aggressively when you close it? Yeah. That's nice though. I like the way we can mess around with that. So the flight deck door, yes. You know, a bit of sound. Oh, the latch. Yeah, yeah. Now this door here, do we use our hands or is that from the tablet? No, don't put you outside, Murphy. Okay, so I think this door is going to be controlled by the tablet, because that looks like we have a click spot. Yeah, that's a click spot to get in and out. All right, fair enough. Okay, so into our tablet here, and let's go back. We'll go to ground equipment. We can close the door. It says this door here is in transit. Close the door. Remove the stairs, the covers, and the chocks. Well, that's pretty nice. What else do we want to do? Back to our tablet here. Push back we have. Arm the doors. They look to be good. My flight, so this is where you do your stuff from SimBrief. Nothing new there. Weight and balance page is where you can load in your cargo or you can do custom. Takeoff performance, landing performance, aircraft maintenance, tires, brakes, service the APU. And we can also open up the panels. So the fuel panel, the APU, and also the RAT, or the Ram Air Turbine. So if we wanted to open, see the dude at the back at the APU? Look out, Tommy, 'tis fierce dangerous. That's brilliant. I believe we can also open up the engine cowlings, if memory serves. Let's see if we can open up the engine cowlings from outside, though. That's a static port. There's no click spots that I can see. There's a click spot. That could be inside. Huh. Jeez, look at the detail. All the blades, all the fan blades are numbered. See that? That's deadly. Yeah, I think that's done from inside. Is there a jacks? That's a great question. Service the APU. Service the engine. Yes, we can service the engine, but can we open the cowlings? No. Reset emergency slides. What? That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, close those. Finish now. And finish now. Okay, we're good. In terms of a jacks, where is the jacks in this plane? If I was a jacks, where would I want to be? I'll be in here. Now, the Lavi is not modelled, lads.
But there is a lavvy in there. Hang on a second. So they have put in a lavvy. But yeah, you can't get into it. Interesting. You'll have to hold it. Yeah, you'll have to hold it. Right, that's pretty cool for the aircraft maintenance. Like, there's consequence to what you're doing. I love that. Maintenance, finish. Finish now. Completed in 14 minutes. Grand. What else do we have here? So, en route map. So that's just displaying your map. Day or night. And this is a bug I'm having. If I zoom out enough, I think the map stops freaking out. That's interesting. Settings. Lock. Power off. I'm almost certain it's DLSS causing these issues. If I bring the brightness down, it chills out. Weird, right? Anyway, right, that's grand. We also have panel states are up here as well in our options. Jason Murphy may make that bright again. Throttle calibration. Let me see here now. So reverses on axes, no. That'll do. Set idle position. Set toga. Okay, so start to calibration. So we're going to set idle position. Set toga. Here we go. Calibration's done. We go back. You have your settings then. That's where you go ahead and you put in your sim brief details, Hoppy log on if you have one, and then just the aircraft systems if you want to play around with it. Pretty cool, right? You have to hold it. Add it to the list. Indeed. Right, so aircraft. Up on top here. Does anyone know how to fly this machine? I completely forget. We'll start with the batteries though. Batteries 1, 2, and 3. That's the sounds, lads, yeah? External power. Go ahead and get our fuel tanks turned on. Window heat sleeve off. The IRSs. 1, 2, and 3. It won't let me lock the cockpit door. I probably left it open. Now we can lock it. Right, so they're aligning. Oxygen on. We'll just do a quick engine startup here just to see how it all kind of looks and sounds, yeah? Okay, so what else do we want to do? Servos, they're okay. Spoilers, they're okay. Lighting. Seatbelts, no smoking. We're going to go ahead and put on our nav and logo lights. Wing light comes on. Wipers, looking forward to that. APU master switch comes on. We will be starting this gadget here now. Fuel pump should be on as auto. We'll go ahead and click start. Get the beacon light on for good measure. Exterior lights, or emergency lights. They're emergency lights. That looks good. APU bleed will come on now in a moment. That's looking pretty good. What else do we have down here? We'll come down into the center console. Overhead. That's all lighting. Display lighting. Weather system. Engine controls. VOR coordinate, or VOR friggin' frequencies. What else do we have? It's similar to enough. I mean, if you've used the A300 before, well, you know where it's at. Auto trim TK system in op. Okay. Landing elevation. You gotta love the dials, right? Anti-skid is already turned on. Flight director. Let's see if that comes on. Terrain mode. We have some lighting here. Console floodlights sticking on for the crack. And oxygen. Nice, they've done that. Armrest. There's your rat over there, your ram air turbine. In real aircraft, yeah, start any engine, there's a giant control E button. Yeah. Dome light in the back, nice, that's modelled. That's for the door. Circuit breakers, not modelled. Jump seat. What else do we have? The rat is over on that side. Okay. Let's check out some of the night lighting, shall we? Just to see how it all kind of does. So that APU. Good sounds, right? A300 as a test with the update, almost 8.5 hours, no memory leaks at all. That's a big plus. That's awesome. Okay, so APU is up. Turn on the bleed. APU is now available. There's our packs coming on. Sounds are very good, aren't they? Let's just change the time of day. Let's get an idea of the lighting. Ooh, nice lighting. Ah, lads, look at the light. That's fantastic, isn't it? That's really nice lighting. And we want to turn off the... What's this one doing? So there's the big flood lighting. Where's the switch for that? There we go. Oh, now that's nice. Jeez, that's very nice, isn't it? Beacon strobes, they're all good. Seat belts. Dome light. Or storm light. Ah, lads, look at the lighting. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the lighting. Bloody hell, that's phenomenal work. That's beautiful. I mean, look at the reflection there on the friggin' trim wheel. Look at that, lads. Man alive, that lighting. That's real looking for... Isn't it? Pure real looking, so it is. Right, we're going to start up this machine here now for the crack, right? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but sure, we'll find out together. Right, what I want to do, put you on. This should give me power on my main screens here, I think. Shouldn't it? How do we get these guys on? What else do we want to do? Spoilers, they're all okay. APU generator, I suppose. Is that what I'm after? They're the wipers. Fuel pump. Runway lights. APU bleed. Cargo smoke. Main deck cargo smoke detection. Standby gen. It's on auto. APU gen is on. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Couldn't get engine 1 to fire up beyond 26, says MDA. Good to see you. Right, well, let's see what we can do here. We'll just do an engine start here on the ground, will we? Now, do we need engine switches? Ignition, A system. And let's go with engine 2, shall we? There's no crank here from... is there? Oh, yeah, there is. Starter, so... Will that start? There's a warning. FADEC channel fault. Okay, let's see. It's the sounds you want here, lads. Decent sounds. They're not bad at all. Okay, engine 2 is up. Let's go engine 1. And we'll try this from outside now. Mind your ears now, we'll go outside, right? So it's an early spool, we'll add the fuel and then we'll listen, right? Right, there's 20. Not bad. Not bad. We'll go back here now. She's idling. Now mind your ears, lads. We're going to turn this one up a bit. Mind the ears now. Oh, Jesus. Are we ready, sports fans? We're not bad. We're not bad. What are they like on the...
Hello there.
It's a little bit louder inside. Let's try it again here now. Sounds are good, lads. Sounds are good. Hey, Viper, good to see you. Welcome in. It's raining CO2, right? Yeah, this is an impressive machine to say the least, isn't it? Speed, altitude. I need to get this working with me wind wing stuff. Hey, Balbro, good to see you. I'm not in a this is the Airbus A300, lads. It's not the Cessna. It's the fanciest caravan, right? Sounds being not bad compared to well, they need to be louder. So they're great at full pop, right? At full pop they're great. At idle they just seem a little bit quiet. That's all. Needs more cowbell. Maybe the external sound is just up a little notch, that's all. This is really nice, lads. I'm super impressed with this. The lighting is absolutely friggin' nuts though, isn't it? The lighting is incredible. Excellent work on the lighting. Where's this one now? Like, it's fantastic, the lighting. It's beautiful. Loving that. That's an incredible job. There's a volume setting in the FB. Hang on a second. What? Ah, Jesus, why didn't we know? Hang on a second. External engines, you're up the divil you. Internal engines, grand. External engines, up the yard. Yeah, that's pretty better. Mind your ears now, lads. Yeah, I didn't know there was a volume slider. That's incredible! The roars of them! Jesus! That's incredible! iniBuilds is just showered of brilliant geniuses. It's amazing. Right, anyway, I'm not going to go any further with this machine. I will be flying it at some stage very soon. But I gotta say, this is an absolute class act. This is the 2024 version of this aircraft. If you have the 300 already, you can get an upgrade compatibility mode that should make the thing do what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I gotta say, lads, that's very, very good. Okay, so back into the menu, and it looks as if the sim has crashed because, well, I mean, updates, right? Jeez. There's a good chance this is going to crash. We need to get into choppers next because we're going to do some helo work. And, well, yeah, the sim has crashed. That's great, isn't it? I mean, honestly. We just get the biggest patch and then, like, you can't exit the flight. Uh-oh. It reminds me I need to dry my hair, right? You better have. I've got a parcel on there. The airport authority may be writing some tickets. E-type, I'm telling you. The master was at 50. That's pretty cool. Are the NVIDIA filters working again? Yeah, but the sim is shagged. That's a crash. That's just not going to recover, is it? All right, sim, we'll do what we always do and shut you down. Flight sim. End the task. And then we'll go flight sim. Start the task. Right, she'll load up here now, lads. And we get stuck on 97%. Yeah, we need to add that to the list. Yeah, for sure. That was really impressive. That A300, I want to learn how to fly that plane properly because it's when you get the sounds and the lighting, all these extra bits of immersion, incredible, right? So let's see now. We'll dabble to over here. Don't forget, lads, if you do like this sort of stuff, if you like these videos or streams, if you're on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind terribly hitting the like button, it helped me out a lot. And well, as always, your support, lads, is absolutely incredible. So I thank you very much indeed. Just had a CTD, but so far it's been good after a restart. Okay. Doc Blue says, did you get a chance to watch the video I sent you last week? Hang on, Doc. Let's have a look. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, I did. Wouldn't be the biggest fan of your man, but yes, I did. New segment for Murph. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 list breakdown. Indeed. I was messing with the Aerofly FS4 today. Senior, obviously not a patch, but VR, it's so good. Yeah, Miss Chippy, really, really good. I was going to download 2024, but Forza is looking less crashy. Maybe. Gabe, once you experience Flight Sim 2024, leave all the bugs to one side. When you experience just flying around in the thing, it is insanely beautiful. Insane. It's incredible. Yeah, there's always Goat Sim. Goat Sim. No, like, look at lads, for all the issues and whatever on launch and also the bugs that we still have to this day, I'm still loving Flight Sim 2024. I really, really am. You know, the new things that it's brought in, the graphics overhaul, in particular when it comes to general aviation flying and the helicopter stuff, it's wow. It really is. Like, it's you know, more bug fixes, please. I'm not overly worried if the sim crashes when you're trying to exit it. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but like, I tend to restart the sim after a flight anyway, you know? Just as I posted a comment, it just CTD again. Oh no. It is truly great when it does work. Yeah, like if they can just focus now on getting more bugs, get more stability in there. And hopefully we're going to see that soon. We're going to see another update because, like, no doubt there's going to be a whole lot of content that they want to add to the sim. And yeah, it's exciting and everything else, but like, lads, get the thing stable first. Don't add features. Just lock down get what's supposed to working. And yeah. I haven't had a single CTD, so it's variable. I've had two. So like a CTD, that didn't CTD, it just froze, but I was exiting the sim. Like, in terms of, like, you know, flying in sim, I've only had 2 crash to desktops, right? Which is pretty cool. Did they add the beards yet, Ush Blamo? They didn't add beards yet, no. Hashtag bring back beards on railroad. In fact, give the railway lads beards, you know. But it is like it's an incredible simulator. It just is. And like, you know, you talk about realism. oh, it's not real at all, and oh, it doesn't look anything different than 2020. Like, people who are saying that, they don't know what they're talking about. People who are saying that Flight Sim 24 is the very same as 2020 visually, you don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, I mean, how is that comparable to 2020? It just isn't. You know what I mean? Is it any less stable than 2020? Yeah, a little bit. Are there more bugs in this? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, of course there is. But give it time, it'll get even better. Like, if you're on the fence about the thing, the recent patch updates that they've done, I mean, they're pretty good. You know? It's day and night with luck. Some people hate change. There's not even change. Now, let's see what this does. So the marketplace is shagged, but the library, we now have the option to turn stuff off, don't we? So if we were to say streamed, isn't there a thing, let me see, enable or disable? Enabled only. Okay, so can I disable this? What were the things here to say I don't want it streamed or not streamed? Didn't they say they did that? Rented and trial, so streamed, right? Category, aircraft. I just want to show aircraft. So can I say they're disabled at the moment? If I were to say, right, let's say the A400. Will that show me? A400? Base content. A400. So selection only. So do I have an option of saving this locally yet? No? Is it only the marketplace stuff? Just got my favorite working heli. Oh, the Bell. Nice one. There's supposed to be a thing that you can store locally, but I haven't found it yet. Yeah. Yeah, do you remember that? Legs used to hang out. 2020 add-ons you can. All right, okay. So you're... okay, so it's only giving you the option for your 2020 aircraft. So let's say, for example, the FSR 500. Now, why is that disabled? Enable. The action will take place the next time you start your sim. Oh, jeez, that's interesting. So has it disabled all that stuff? So, what about the Alouette? That's local though, so it doesn't know about that. What else came across? The Huey? Base content. Premium Deluxe Aviator upgrade. Okay, so the Bell 47. All right, okay. So it's the marketplace add-ons. That's what you can do. All right, okay. That makes total sense. All right, anyway, enough of that. I need to figure that one out later on. But for this one, lads, I'm going to go in and we're going to start off now with some choppers. We'll go with the S-64. Where is the S-64? There you go. So the S-64, the Sky Crane. Ericsson owned this one. It was kind of modded on since then. She's based on the Sikorsky, though. So we're going to go with a firefighting one, and we're going to go for the US colors because I just thought that was nice. We're going to go over to Lake Tahoe. If you guys want to join me, we're going to be on the Southeast Asian server. We'll ramble in here to Lake Tahoe. Let it load in. Gabe, I got it. The Forza joke. It was good, man. It was good. Right, so that's going to be our departure. Let me see here. So custom off on all. Daytime, clear skies. Let's just go with that. And start. So if you want to bring your choppers with us, the whole objective of this is, lads, the larger helicopters, they're harder to fly because a lot more control is needed. And when you're learning helicopters, you have to be like really super sensitive and like very gentle inputs when it comes to controlling them. The larger the helicopter, well, the more aggressive you have to get with all these sort of inputs, right? So when we started all this, when we started the series off, this is like a mini series just on choppers, 3 weeks ago, we went through the controls, what you need, the likes of your trims, you know, get your hardware set up. And we kind of moved on from there into just kind of the general behaviors of helicopters, in particular when you want to use some of the assists or turn the assists off. And they kind of vary from aircraft to aircraft. Some aircraft behave better with the assist turned off, right? Now, when we're looking at the larger choppers, in particular, there's me inside my face. When we're looking at the larger choppers, in particular these ones, these are your big, heavy utility aircraft, right? Now, what's after kind of annoying me a bit here, this is from Blackbird Simulations, Milviz, right? And the features of firefighting and carrying cargo, they have been disabled in free flight. And it wasn't Blackbird's fault. Soba said, no, we better turn that off. And I think that's a huge problem because, well, how else are you going to learn to operate the stuff? So the likes of the retardant hose on this, it's all in free flight. You can't use the winch to lower it down. You can't scoop up water. You can't drop water. It's a bit of a to-do, right? However, when it comes to this, learning an aircraft and flying it, that is half the battle. That is half the battle, right? So we're going to start us off with this aircraft. We're going to do a full cold and dark startup and just get ourselves a little bit familiar about it. Like, looking at this aircraft, you can see how unique it is. This entire cargo area here, yes, we're using fire retardant, but if you look at the aircraft, I mean, look, we have loads of options for putting in different types. Anything from cranes, winches. I've seen containers being carried with these. It's unbelievable, right? So we'll use the drone cam now in a second to figure out all this stuff. I will remove the before flight. To gain entry into the aircraft, it's in behind the cockpit, and we just ramble in here. And welcome to the cockpit, right? So get my views reset here. That looks good to me. And yeah, all my different view positions. So what do we need to know about this machine? Well, first and foremost, the scale. It's huge. This is a massive, massive helicopter. And well, you can see, even looking at it, it comes with a number of different liveries. But you can see it's very utility, isn't it? And the reason why I'm saying this, like, there's ladders here to climb up to give you access, obviously with the engines turned off, right? But this is where they go in if they're trying to secure loads, work on the engines, tidy the engines. And even at the back, you know, the main friggin' drive shaft at the back, it's all exposed. So it's a pure utility. This thing is a giant utility vehicle, effectively. Now, they've done great work with the modelling here. I think it looks absolutely incredible. And depending on the variant you've gone with, we're carrying a massive water tank, 2,600 gallons. That's a lot of water, right? And we can kind of see roughly how the operation would work, right? So you have a intake and then you have an outtake. Your intake is this main one here. That's designed for scooping up water. And then your outtake, or your output, well, it's done out through this guy here. And it's usually, this is all fire retardant stuff, right? Everything should be enabled. There's no reason to disable functionality. I agree. They just turned it all off, which doesn't make sense. Asobo wanted them to turn it off. So basically how this works is we have switches that'll lower the boom, that'll scoop, and then we have switches that will work this. This is a winch mechanism. You see the winch there. You can see the detail on the winch. And the winch literally lowers this guy down. And depending on what you're putting out, fires, it kind of jumps around the place. And in the fire missions particularly, it's incredible fun. The utility, or the lifting aircraft, right? Cargo moving hoists and all this sort of jazz. Well, one of them is fitted with a giant hoist in the middle. And you do have an operator seat. This dude in here, where he lives, there are controls here. So, you know, this is like your container crane mover. That's his viewpoint. So he's watching everything that goes on back behind here. What a unique perspective. Because like these aircraft, look them up. Look up the S-64 and you see the type of work that they do. It's incredible. And we have like a nav panel up here for like comms. We do have an alarm system. So if you look closely, there's actually a speaker system here. Look, see that? And we can activate that speaker. That is working. But overall, in terms of the functionality, outside of flying this chopper in free flight, we're limited to just flying it. But that's okay. Fornax, good to see you. Now, what do we need to start worrying about these helicopters? First and foremost, the length. The length of this chopper is going to be a challenge for you to get to grips with. The reason being is when we start flying it, when we start lifting that collective, and we're doing the anti-torque dance to keep everything where it wants to be. This aircraft, this heli, it has a fierce tendency to lean back. Because if you look at, I mean, the most center point of the helicopter, it's slightly in front or slightly behind where the tail rotor is. That's kind of the center of gravity there, but the rotor's here. So she'll lean back a little bit. We need to watch for that. All right. But also even taxiing around the place, even general moving this. I mean, the rotor span of this chopper, it is massive. It's huge, right? Because I played the Fireman Sam tune. It probably could if you want to edit it or code it. Also, the landing gear is fixed, so we don't need to worry about retracting any of that. So that's not a big to-do. So the S-64F, the Sky Crane. This is the chopper we're going to start with, and we're going to begin by going through a cold and dark setup. Are we ready, friends? So you can follow your checklist. I'm too lazy. I'm not going to do that. So a quick bit of familiarization. So we have our main dials here. The main panel we can see our steam units. That's going to give us our airspeed indicator, attitude, altitude, vertical speed, and we have various other dials and switches. We have our collective down here on the left side. Throttle is not active. You can't do anything with the throttle, so it just needs to be set. We control it by the fuel flow. Anti-torque pedals with Sikorsky written on them. And we have our cyclic. That controls our forward, sideways movement, right? Now, if you go to the main panel up on top, we'll start off at this little bit here. This is your fuel shut-off and also your engine start-up stuff. And the engine start switches. See these little buttons here? They're your engine start. They're your ignition. They're your igniters. Your start button. We'll go through it now in a second. Looking at the rest, looking at the top left, we have a fire warning system. We can go through all of that once the battery's on. Overhead master. This is for our flight director switches. We also have avionics and standby attitude. Secondary controls. That's to do with the tank and the lower hook. They're in up though. They don't move. We have some position lights down here. Internal lights here. Your environmental systems. Auxiliary fuel. This here, your APP. It's your auxiliary power plant. APU, effectively, lads. That's what that is. Engine overspeed tests. They're in up. Top right then to do with your hoist, it's in up. Wipers, they work. This one here is part of your auxiliary power unit or your auxiliary power plant. More internal lights, and we have our hoist. We also have pilot fans. This kind of reminds you of like some of the older Russian stuff. Air conditioning, well, it wasn't an option. However, they do have air fans. There's a fan down there, look. And you can turn it on and it's animated and it does all the stuff, right? Reset me view there. What else do we have here now? Right hand side circuit breakers. No, I don't. Emergency something. This is funny. Listen to this. So what's this? To Rad's test set. Every aircraft should have them. Now moving across at the back, we have a couple of more switches here. So you have more internal lighting. Your ELT is located here. Your retardant manual release. What else? Circuit breakers not working here. These aren't working. There is a key though, on off switch. Make sure it's on. What else do we have? Nothing else there that we need to worry about. The sirens I was telling you about, they're located over here. And they won't come on until I have the battery on. We'll play with that now in a moment. And that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty much it. So to get ourselves started, we're going to come down here now to the center console, and we have a park and brake. You have a park lock. I don't know what that does. But if you want to start it up, you can see here. So master battery coming on, and we'll hear warnings. It'll come alive. So we're going to go with that first. So there's a master switch for the battery. We'll turn on our position lights and our anti-collision lights while we're waiting. What else can we do here now? While we're here, master battery, generators, leave those off at the moment. Retractors, leave them alone. Ignition switches, we can go ahead and turn those on. Rotor brake, leave it in the off position because we want the thing to move. Inverter, we can put that on now. And you hear it spinning up. External power, if you want it, we're not going to use that. Anti-ice, not going to use that for the moment. And then we have our... This will be our engine warnings. We'll play with that now in a moment. Avionics we're going to leave off at the minute. Our pumps are going to put on for our fuel. We don't need to worry about the heaters. And avionics, we can probably put avionics on here now to keep an eye on what we're doing. Where's my avionics switch now? I can hear someone else starting up. Avionics master is here. And we got some nice screens. You can hear the gyro starting to turn, the fans turning on in the back. These are avionics, and we're going to monitor our engine startup. All right. So to start her up, we're going to go for the auxiliary power plant first. We're going to put on the master switch, which is located here. Master switch on. We're going to go for the fuel start. We're going to go the starter switch to on. And we're going to press the APP start button. Now it does say to hold this for 20 seconds. You can just click it and you're going to see the whole unit power up. So we have movement. And you'll hear it outside. I can hear people. Auxiliary power plant is now up and running. We can see that she's at 80%. We're looking good. And we can go ahead and now start playing with some stuff. The inverters would usually come on at this stage. Generators will get them in there now. Ignition systems are up. I think we leave those off. I'm not sure, but we'll see now in a second. Anti-ice I'm not worried about. If we wanted to play with the siren behind us, we'll go into our little seat here and have a listen. So let's have a look. Turn the power on. And we'll go for this fast. Or slow. So they've modelled that, and it is louder outside. It's pretty cool, right? But it'll drive you and your pets absolutely friggin' nuts, so we'll turn that off. We'll turn it off, right? Wee bit of reverb. Yeah, it's quite good, it's quite good. Right, okay, so we're going to cancel off our master cautions. We can have a look at our annunciator panel. This is going to tell us what's wrong. Pedo, rectifier... Oh, yeah, these need to be turned on. So rectifiers will put on. Engine oil pressure, fuel pressure, all that jazz. So we're going to go for a start up on the aircraft engines. We're going to go for a start on engine 1 first. Just making sure everything here is looking good, which it is. So we're going to engage the starter. You'll hear the starter.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure.
Now he'll keep saying there's an engine failure until the NG starts rising. If you want to mute it, just press the little button down here. If you're like, you don't want to hear him.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure. Test. Engine 1, test.
Just turn it off.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure. Test complete.
Shh. Thanks. Right, introduce some fuel.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure.
And he'll keep saying that until our N1 gets up to about, I
failure.
think it's 50.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure. Engine 1, failure.
60. So he shuts up now. That's great news. Engine 2 is going to be the same. So we can go to ground idle, leave him on ground idle, go for a start on the right. You can hear the starter spinning.
Engine 2 failure. Engine 2 failure. Engine 2 failure. Engine 2 failure.
Finished. So same crack again. There's 20. Introduce some fuel.
Engine 2 failure. Engine 2 failure. Engine 2 failure.
Give it a second.
Engine 2 failure.
Once we get over, I think it's 50, the light will turn off.
Engine 2 failure.
And we're good. Okay, so 62% on the N1s. And we're going to come up here again. We're going to put them to fully open. And if you click on them, it locks the switch, yeah? Now, as we're waiting, we now have full fuel. We're going to allow the RPM start climbing. Once it goes after about 25, you'll really hear this thing start to move. So we just sit tight. It's still warming up. While we're waiting, we can now disengage the auxiliary power plant. We're going to stop it. We're going to master switch off. And we're going to turn off the panel. Done. And again, you have plenty of sounds here, yeah?
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
There doesn't appear to be a throttle that I can control that. It just kind of goes zoop, straight up. And now she's good, right? Okay, so pedo switch needs to come on. Where are you? You're over here. Rotor animations doesn't look great, does it? Not looking good so far, lads. And the LOD is still like nuts. Anyway, the main thing is our chopper is up and running. Hey, Britain DC, good to see you, man. You're very welcome in. Right, so landing light needs to come on. And what else do we need to do here now? Let's have a look. External power is off, inverters are on, igniters leave them on. Battery's still on, that's grand. Anti-ice don't need, rotor brake is off. Hoist master can't control any of that, unfortunately. Transponder is in what it needs to do. Fuel is good. Everything in here looks good. Annunciator test and I want panel test. We're looking good. Reset the barrow. Double check now on our lighting. We're looking good here, and we're looking good there. You can turn on the fans, and again they're audible. You'll hear them. There's the fan animation. You can see that. We got a couple of fans on this as well. Right, so the crack now starts coming into it, right? Because we're going to try and, well, control the aircraft at quite low power, right? Foot microphone. Interesting. Right, so what I'm going to do here now, the tablet.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Actually, here's a test. Did they fix the tablet? So we're currently at 70 frames, right? 70 frames, y'all see that? 64 to 70 frames. Gibbo's trick by hiding the tablet. 109 frames, 112 frames. Colonel 4, good to see it. So that gadget that Gibbo found out still works, lads. Great news. Right, so what we need to do here, we'll just have a quick listen to the sounds outside, right? Because it's not terribly loud. I think these should be way louder. And you're 6,000 feet in Tahoe. Aha! Yeah, we need to be careful with that. Right, so we're going to go a bit of Toby here to help me out. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to apply very, very little collective here. Park and brake comes off. Lean the chopper forward a teeny tiny bit. Add in a bit of collective until she starts rolling forward. And it's like the smallest of inputs. So we've a bit of movement now, so we're doing a nice roll taxi. Collective has only been put in about half an inch. Serious Wolf, good to see you. Well, that looks like this rotor animation, but it's not really, but however. So this is where the practice comes in. Can you actually work on taxiing the aircraft on the ground? Helis are hard to taxi. Obviously you can't do it if you have skids, but choppers are always going to be difficult to taxi. But this is where it's good practice, yeah? We'll spin around to the right here. We're Lake Tahoe, so Kilo Tango Victor Lima, I think, Muse. It's a hope. Well, yeah, it is a Hope of Firefly Air. So looking at the collective, it's only a, you know, she's only up a teeny tiny bit. It's just enough because I'm leaning forward with my cyclic. And again, this is giving you the chance to learn the controls, learn the behaviours of what the chopper's trying to do, yeah? So again, add in a little bit more collective or lean forward a bit more in your cyclic. Just be careful, you don't want to lift it off on you. So if you're coming up to a bit of a hill, try and balance it out as best you can. Trying to control these things on the ground, it'll be super handy for you once you want to go flying them. Because they all have different tendencies. The size of the engines on this and the torque it produces, it's a lot harder to keep something like this on the straight and narrow than it is like your 125. So we're looking good. We're going to do a hard left turn here. This gives a nice challenge. So we'll give ourselves a bit of a wide berth. KTVL. Thanks, Mamba. And just using our anti-torque, that'll help us turn on the ground. We can use our toe brakes as well. And if it's getting too far or see the way she's leaning, lower that collective. That'll take the tendency out of it, yeah? And then if you feel yourself losing control, just drop the collective completely. So we're going to taxi into position. You'd be surprised the amount of helis actually have to taxi at airports. They don't usually let them take off. Unless they're at a helipad, they have to taxi out to the active. Alright. So we're bringing ourselves to a stop. We do have trims of this aircraft, which is handy. So we're going to start adding in some collective Collective coming in nice and slow. And put your eyes out on the horizon line. That's your first balance, because you're going to see if the chopper is starting to lean in any direction. You then counter it. See that? So a bit of anti-torque. Try and straighten her up. Easy now. Easy now. Alright, that's a little bit more stable. Keep the nose down, we don't want to move them backwards. So we're going to add in more collective. It will have a tendency to lean and kind of, you know, roll on you. Keep the nose down, keep this angle. Try and keep it somewhat straight. Stay away from the trees, Murph. Airspeed is starting to rise. Keep the collective there, that's fairly comfortable for the moment. And we can start heading out towards the lake. There's 40 knots. Again, trim is going to be your friend here, so make sure you're adding in trim. Just takes the pressure off your hands, yeah? Nice to check you, you're having savage issues, man. There's 60 knots. At this stage, your torque pedals, you shouldn't have to do much with them. Depends on the wind. Coming up on 80 knots. News had a CTD loading in. Oh, Jesus. And remember what we learned last week and the week before. The instruments are going to help you. Try and keep your vertical speed. That's one of your main indicators. Keep your vertical speed close to neutral. Keep an eye on your airspeed. And that'll help keep you in a level flight. So roughly there. We'll just hover around. Outside we're looking good. Got plenty of people here with us. Like, it's just a big old machine, this one. Big machine. So there's an area over there to our left-hand side. It's relatively tight, right? It's not the most open space. But we're going to go over and land in that, just in front of the woodland area over there. So again, keeping an eye on our vertical speed. Make sure we're not climbing or descending. And we're just taking our time. Slow movements. The bigger the chopper, the slower the movements. But the more forced, if that makes sense. You've got to be really kind of pushing them controls in. We're looking fairly good. So our touchdown point is just anywhere over there with the woods. We're going to try this. No, we can't pick up water. Like, it's a disaster. Like, if you wanted to simulate picking up water, enter a hover. So again, look at your vertical speed, keep that neutral, and keep blowing your collective. That's going to bleed off your forward speed, yeah? So keep the nose up, bleed off the speed, try not to drop altitude. There's 80 knots. Easy now. That's good, speed is down to 60. There's 40. We're starting to drop now. Add in a small bit of power. Small bit of collective. So ideally, you know, if you're trying to pick up water, yeah, you gotta hover directly over it. Can't pick up cargo either, no. No, like they've... And it wasn't Blackbird, it was Asobo said, no, turn them off in free flight. Which is just weird. Like, why? You know what I mean? So easy does it. We're trying to get as low as possible. Watch your rate of descent. Add a bit of collective if it's, you know, if you're losing a bit of control. There's Airwolf over there. 1,000 feet is a bit too lively. Keep it at around 500 if you can. Again, your anti-torque pedals are doing most of the work for you. And you'd want to be just, you know, trying to get yourself into a hover. Doing that over water is really difficult because it's very hard to see if you're moving. Something like that. I reckon at this altitude we should be relatively safe. As in our, you know, our water feeder would reach, should reach from about here. If not, we can go lower. We'll go lower. Easy, 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 easy. Right, so you're talking kind of this altitude here. So if you want to be hovering, again, it's constant watching of what's going on around you. Try not to be leaning back on your cyclic. So this sort of altitude, I mean, you can see we're kicking up a bit of spray. This is ideal for filling up your tanks. We just can't fill up our tanks here, which is a bit of a problem, yeah? So it doesn't have it in free flight. Okay, so from here, we just want to go over to where we said we're going to land. Find the trees. So the advice I'm giving you is try and control these choppers at low altitude and low speed. Because you want to train yourself how to hover them. You know? So we'll try and ramble in here. Unlike the oil rigs, we're not too worried about the ground effect because there's fairly even ground beneath us. So all we need to really concentrate on is going to be our velocity. Forwards and, obviously, you know, down. We're away from those trees. Easy does it. Bleed off the speed now. Eyes front. Watch the speed. We're going to have contact on the back wheels. There's the back wheels down. We're kicking up some dust. There's the nose down. And that's us landed. Probably wasn't the most graceful, but you get the idea. Jesus, great visual effects there, isn't there? But yeah. Wombat, no, I've actually turned it off. It got an update, but I've turned off the add-on. So you get the idea, right? So let's have a look. Fierce Wolf looking very good. Like it looks way easier than it is, lads. And again, don't be worried too much trying to get, you know, the perfect landing. These are a big chopper. They got massive suspension. Don't be afraid if you need to kind of drop them down a bit. There goes Airwolf. Nose up a little bit with the collective. Nicely done. Sky King is in at 125. Again, starting off, smaller choppers are the way to go. So here comes Tima, Belbro, and C. Miller. Looking good, lads. That's awesome looking. So you can see what's happening with Tima. You're getting that lateral pull. The anti-torque is throwing you off one direction. Belbro, that's looking really sweet, man. Really, really good. And again, don't worry on the softest of landings. Just get it down. Looking good. And touchdown. On the brakes, collective to 0, and that'll stabilise it. Great stuff. Team is down. C. Miller's inbound. That's a nice looking approach. That's where it's going to throw you. When you're trying to turn in on final in a chopper, especially the bigger ones, it completely upsets the weight. So you're going to find yourself kind of strafing. You can counter it, but it's easier said than done. You're looking good. You're looking good. You're down. You're down. You made it. Good stuff, man. It just takes a bit of practice, lads. I'm sure we have more. We've got Mac Vision out there in a 125. There's Petrolhead coming in. So this is looking good. You're controlling the left and right kind of strafe turns, yeah? Don't worry too much about the aircraft position. That's very good. That rate of descent there is almost perfect. Looking real good. Airwolf, you're doing a great job beside us as well. Jeff Fabiano is here. Welcome in, Jeff. Look at the cut of this, man. Jeff is doing career mode. You're very welcome in. Hope all is well. Welcome in, guys. Hope you had a great stream. You join us here as we try to mess and learn the helicopters, also known as death machines. Great fun these are, right? I don't know who said it. You know, helicopters don't fly.
Hello there.
You know, when it comes to aerodynamics, they beat air into submission, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? Lads, welcome in. Thank you so much indeed. Jeff, hope you had a great stream, mate. Guys, you're very welcome aboard. We're just doing some heli tutorial stuff. It's outside of any missions. We have a lot of really good choppers in the sim now, and outside of the missions, you know, to learn or just give yourself a bit of a chance figuring out how these things work, it takes time. There's no, you know, there's no secret recipe. You just have to spend a little bit of time in it. So over the last few weeks, you know, we started off with some tutorials, and we started off with the H125, then we transitioned to, and that was just doing basic flight operation. Then we went on to the H225, the Super Puma, and we were doing that on some oil rigs. You can imagine now the crack we had there, but it worked, right? And tonight we're going with the heavier aircraft. We started off here with the Ericsson, the S-64, and it's a full cold and dark setup. And we're going to do the same now in a moment with the CH47. We're at Lake Tahoe, by the way, if you want to ramble over. Tom Clancy said that? Nice. That's nuts. Guys, thank you so much indeed for all the follows. Welcome in. Fox, welcome in. Wolf is here as well. Good to see you. Steve Carroll, cheers, Steve. And Alba's here as well. Alvin, you're very welcome aboard. Paul, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, lads.
Hello there.
Right, we're doing great things. There goes Steve Miller. Jesus. And now Airwolf is out for a run. Brilliant. Alright, so our plan here is there's ducks coming in. Come on, ducks. So as we're looking at this, it's don't worry too much about your vertical movements.
Hello there.
Try and keep the lateral movements as close as you can. It's like when you know, it's like flying an airplane. We like to butter it in a sim because, hey, I just buttered that landing. But in the real world, I mean, your touchdown zone, the accuracy of your landing is way more important. And obviously you don't want to break the thing, but you know what I mean. Nathan, thank you very much indeed. Seacat, welcome in. Bubba Kush, thank you indeed for the follow. You're all very welcome, lads. Happy Wednesday. The Wednesday before. DJ Seamus, how are you? I've been around with holidays coming up. I've been extra busy. Not at all, my guy, not at all. Can't get the GPS to initialize, mind pressing enter. Ooh, interesting. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to leave this little LZ that we've just created, and we're going to head back up towards the airport. So it's going to be the same crack again. Now, starting off in choppers, the first thing, you know, I want to land on that really small helipad. Forget about it. Aim for the runway. Try and touch down on the runway just as you would with a conventional plane. Start from there and then build it up. So we'll do a conventional landing as if we're in a plane, right? News, you're having all sorts of issues with that patch. Alright. Again, we're going to control things. So as we raise our collective, our anti-torque pedals, or, you know, feet on the pedals, or if you have a twist, and you're just waiting for where the feedback is going to kind of point you. Now, if you have a motion rig or your force feedback, you're laughing. If you don't have that, visually look out the window and see what it's trying to do. So as collective is coming in, it wants to move us forward. Pull back a slight bit, lean right a bit, left a bit, anti-torque, lean forward a bit more. And just in the collective, you don't want to raise it too much. Just bring it up until you feel that kind of bite, you feel the lift, and then you just want to kind of hold it, yeah? If the chopper's going to shake in this position, to enter a hover, you can pick a location on the ground and say, right, keep that in my window at all times. Easier said than done. But when you're flying a chopper, you've got to keep your eyes on the horizon line. That's going to tell you more than kind of anything else, yeah? So a bit more collective now coming in. Keep the nose down. We don't want to be going backwards. Easy now. Counteract the lean to the right. Here we go. Bit more collective, a little bit of anti-torque to the right, drop the nose down, and we'll start moving forward. Now, this is going to be made insanely more difficult when you're either towing a load or you're trying to do firefighting stuff. Like, insanely different and difficult. So, learning the basics of just getting used to each chopper, your favorite chopper, of course, but like, just figure out how they work, what they like, what they don't like. Spend a bit of time with them and do this sort of flying. Start off at an airport, you know, it's nice scenery to look at, but you're going for challenge. You want relatively level ground that you can land. If you're doing firefighting, pick somewhere that has a lake or rivers. And then just pick unique areas to land. Ideally somewhere that has a bit of trees as well. They'll help you. So if we're planning me landing over here, well, I have a nice big runway. So what I'm going to do, airspeed is looking good. I'm going to lower the collective to make sure that I can zero off my vertical speed. Keep that at 0. A bit of a bank turn coming in here now as well. And I'm going to keep lowering that collective to bleed off the speed. So collective is coming right back. And we want to keep, we want to keep our vertical speed almost 0. If we can do that, it means that we're dropping our speed, but not necessarily losing altitude. So we're descending nicely-ish, but it's more to do with this speed. We're bleeding off that speed. We're now down to 60 knots, so we've dropped quite a bit. So we're going to get the speed down to, I suppose 20 knots. And all the while, we're just going to try and line up at the runway. Get the speed down to 20 knots. Increase your collective if you need to. There's 20 knots. I want to hold 20 knots. So we're going to keep the nose forward a little bit. Bring the collective up. But not too much. We want to keep a rate of descent here. And we want to keep our speed in and around 20 knots. That's what we're aiming to do. Don't worry if it fluctuates. It can go above. It can go below. That doesn't matter. So we're close to 20 knots. And we have a rate of descent. And again, you're just trying to line up the runway. So the chopper's going to strafe, and then you want to counter that by a roll, and then your anti-torque as well. What's the speed? And start lowering it down. So you're mainly looking at just 2. You can use the attitude indicator, but for this, you're looking at your airspeed and your vertical speed. Yeah, we're way too high, but we're okay. Take our time. Your vertical speed, never let it go beyond 1,000 feet a minute, because you're liable to go into a ring state, and you don't want that. That's bad news. So we still have 20 knots on our momentum moving forward, and rate of descent, keep it above, keep it between kind of 500 and 700. So this isn't looking too bad. We're descending nicely. We're keeping that 20 knots. Add in a small bit of collective just to cushion the landing. Tiny little bit of a flare. We're down. That's it. Touchdown. On the runway as big as it is, right? So let's see how you go with that. Put my camera back. Right. Okay. So here comes Tima. Again, aim for the biggest possible target you have, because your accuracy is going to start... Oh, Jesus, me head. Your accuracy will start getting better, right? There's Mr. Chippy now. So Mr. Chippy is probably fighting with anti-torque if he's trying to land. Maybe he's not. And again, lads, don't worry too much yet about, you know, the finesse or any of that jazz. So team is down. We've Bellbro then behind. There's Bellbro coming in. 20 knots, 25 knots. Keep it in and around that. Almost sure he meant cyclic, but for some of those collectives he was thrown out there. Yeah, probably. Me with words, lads. We're at Lake Tahoe, Andres. Good to see you, man. Does anyone know if the H160 transfers? Yeah, Gabe, it's working. Heinrich, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Good chopper, fine. Jeff, thank you very much indeed for the raid, mate. Hope you're well. Dude, I still haven't done career. I still have, like, I've got me PPL and that's it. I've done nothing else. Terrible. Bell, bro, no pressure now. Dux is inbound. Jeez, the LOD is still terrible, isn't it? I've so much ahead of me. What level, Jeff, are you at now? I mean, you're doing VIP flights, right? Oh, Jesus. Can you just, like... Can you export your save profile and sure I'll just use that? Do you know what I mean? Alright, Bellbro, looking good, man. Duck's coming in behind. And you might be saying, why are you trying to do this with helis? I'm telling you, it helps. It helps you along, right? Level 102? Jesus. Dude, that's fantastic. You must be liking career mode, so. This is looking good, lads. Nathan, what level are you on? If Jeff is only starting to catch you. Hey, Flights with Joel is here. Good to see you, Joel. Joel, what are your thoughts on none of the mission stuff working in free flight? As in, we can't use any of the firefighting stuff or the cargo stuff in free flight. Bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? See, this is where the challenge is, because your chopper wants to go one direction and you're trying to keep the thing straight. That's why practicing on runways really helps. You have a whole load of space in front of you to kind of correct what you're trying to do. That's why, and like, you're going to find it difficult trying to put it down on a runway. But this is where it, it helps you out. Good to let everyone make mistakes so you know what to do. Career, right? Right? I'll make myself look like I'm some sort of a special kind of idiot. This is how you do it. Brilliant. I would really like it to work, says Joel. Dude, I'd love it. Owen is a level 124. No way. Nathan, 128, dude. You're on passenger airliner? That's awesome, man. Nicely done, lads. There's Zith with the 225, the Super Puma. It's beautiful. Right, so we get the idea. So what I'm going to do here, now I'm going to do a fixed point landing, right? So you practice on the runway. We're now going to do a fixed point landing. So we'll ramble up the yard fairly quick. Easy now. And we're going to try and put this thing down in a very kind of unique area, right? Rather than the runway. Just to show some of the differences in that. We don't need to go too high. There's animals here. What are they? Deer! Are they deer? They are. We've deer, look. Ah, brilliant. Can we tow some deer? They've ran through the fences, God love them. Oh, jeez, let them off. Right, what was I doing? I was doing this. Right, go up the yard. Yep, you devil you. For some of the heli missions, or even just heli flying, if you're on skids, for example, well, this is kind of how you taxi. So hovering is a big to do, right? So we're gonna keep the hover and we're gonna use this as a taxi. Easy does it. And we'll turn right onto the taxiway. Meanwhile, try and keep this hover as best we can, right? Easy now. Easy. Easy. Made a mess of that, Murph. Easy. Make it down to taxiway. Lean us a bit this way. Lean us a bit that way. There we go. Again, watch your speed. We're calling it the messy taxi. Easy. Easy. Kicking up some dust. Don't touch the ground. There we go. Doing this in VR is 10 times easier. It just is. Easy. Who do we leave on the ground? We left a man behind. Alright, we're going to try and put this thing down, so. Easy now. Hold the nose. Straighten up. Don't run over old mate on the ground. Where's old mate on the ground? There he is. You want to land beside him. Nice and gently now, Murph. Nice and gently now. Easy. 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 Right, that looks good to me. Drop her. Right, how close do we get to him? Kind of close. I mean, that's pretty much where we started off. Dust in his eyes, right? Ericsson Air Crane is just 100 miles north. No way! Flightless Owl. Keep getting to free flight on the map. And it goes on the Xbox 4 terabyte time reboot. You're joking. I'm going to move on to doing the helis tonight. Got to get some money up to fix my ES30. No way. Brilliant. Right, so you get practice, timing. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just dump it down. You'll get the accuracy better. You'll get the finesse an awful lot better. And that's what we want. Ty, welcome in. Right, lads, so for my next trick, we're going to swap aircraft. So that is the S-64. So we can bring this machine now into power down. Ground idle. We don't need the auxiliary power plant just for shutdown. So we should be watching the torque bleed off completely, which we are. She's holding a 64. That should be dropping a lot more, but anyway. Right, fuel off.
Engine 1, failure. Engine 2, failure.
Alright. Fuel can go off as
Engine
well.
1, failure. Engine 2, failure.
That switch is broken. Rectifiers and ignition systems off. And usually you have to wait for a certain RPM before you can start deploying the rotor brake. We do have a switch here for the rotor brake, or you can bind it, but ideally you want the RPM down below 20. We can hit it now. And that'll do the job. So, next chopper is going to be the CH47D. And it's going to be the same airport, so don't worry too much about this, right? Okay, so the CH47, similar in terms of it's a big, massive machine. That's the Miltech one, which is really good. Right, let's go into chopper and configure this. And let me see here now. So we'll go into a default configuration. I'll go with a nice military livery. And well, let's go Lake Tahoe once again. It doesn't want to load me any
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
any starting locations. Flipper Alloy, thank you very much indeed, man. Welcome in. Jesus, 30 months. 38 months. Thank you very, very much. Right, here we go. So we'll go parking 28. And launch. That thing is a dragon. It's awesome, isn't it? Alright. So there's Mr. Man in behind his CH-47, the Chinook. A Boeing Chinook. Class act, this machine. Right, ready to fly. We shall remove the before flight. Chocks. Pedo. That's grand. And our entry, I think, is here. Okay. So, welcome to the flight deck of the CH-47. Alright, so a bit of familiarization with this thing before we get going. Obviously, the style of this, the rotors on this, very, very different, right? We don't have our small little tail rotor that's counteracting, as in moving twice as fast as the main rotor. That's how the tail rotors work, right? So we've considerably different physics at play here. Massive engines on this thing. Again, the rotor is huge. The rotor wash we're going to get is going to be huge. So this, once again, it's all about timing. It's a fixed landing gear. We don't need to move them. And some of the characteristics of the Chinook, it can't actually do an awful lot of ground taxiing. It do a little bit, but it freaks out. This thing just likes to get up and get out of there, right? But it's an iconic chopper and it's huge. Absolutely huge. Again, we can't do any of the freight carrying stuff in free mode. But if you have the Miltech one, you can do all sorts of crank. So we're going to get ourselves set up in this machine. So a little bit of familiarization. Okay, we have our 6-pack here. We have some autopilot controls. Moving down the way, anti-torque pedals. Toe brakes. We have our cyclic. We also have a very unique collective. The throttle is built into it. Tablet sits there, but I have it disabled. We do have some avionics here for our GPS. We have our autopilot unit, which isn't working on this chopper. Engine controls, temperatures, pressures, fuel, all the jazz lives here, including our annunciator checks and lights. Pilot not flying, ton of stuff very similar. And steering control, swivel, lock, unlock. We leave all this as default, right? Up onto the overhead, top left, we have some external lighting. We have position lights, anti-collision and so on. Internal lights, compass, this works, slaver free. Your troop warning, so this is your parachuting lads, you'll be letting them know, red light, green light, put the alarm on for them as well. Cabin heating and environmental stuff. I have a battery master switch, we'll go to this now shortly. So this is our electrical panel and our APU. Our main fuel switches are up here, transfers and pumps. This is the engine condition levers, 2 engines, 2 conditions. Going to be late again, I'm on a roll. We'll be finished soon, we won't be too long on this one. There is a FADEC system on the aircraft as well, so we can play with that. We'll keep everything to 100% though, we don't need to mess with it. Top right, additional, we have more internal lighting, external lighting, we have anti-icing system, including our pedo. The hoist, again, can't do that with the hoist. Cargo hook, can't do that with the cargo hook. And then we have our hydraulics. Transfer pumps, and so on. And then your ramp power, on, off, or emergency mode. Right, start us off, we've got the battery. Battery coming on. And you can just mess around with a couple of different lights. Go ahead and get our booster pumps. Fuel pumps are on. Exterior lights, go ahead and turn them on. Interior lights, they're grand. That's all grand. And we're going to go for the APU. So flick it to run. And then we'll go for the starter switch. So APU coming up. It starts really fast. APU is up. Simple as that. APU gens on. And this is going to help us now for the start up. Alright. So what we need to do, we have these engine condition. There's click spots on these. That's to kind of lock them from ground into flight. So we're going to start engine 1 first. So we're going to flick the switch over to the left side. You'll hear it starting to tick. Rotor start moving straight away, and you'll see pressure and RPM starting to rise. We will introduce the fuel shortly. Okay, and we'll go ground idle. We'll click it in, because the next area we move it is into flight mode, right? VR is so much easier when you're flying choppers. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Engine 2 automatically starts. Don't know why, but we'll keep an eye on it. Again, waiting for your N2 to rise. Up you go, you devil. 1 is alive. Here comes 2. There's no throttle control, so I think there's an issue with the Blackbird choppers, you know what I mean? Engine 2 is looking good. Into flight. Generators left and right coming on. We also have our front lights. Turn those on. Peter, he can come on. Starter switch is now disengaged. APU can now be deactivated. And engines are looking good. And that's it. Nice sounds in this, isn't there? Okay, same crack again, lads. Come off the brakes. And we're going to gently roll her forward, put a small bit of collective in there, and we'll start a roll, or we'll start movement. There we go. And a very gentle turn to our right, or to our left, sorry. James, remember the time I was at the airport and I turned the wrong way with ATC? Muse fan, we're going to run over you, you poor little devil, Muse! Ah, Jesus! Okay. Again, lads, most of your training, most of you learning how to do this, it's going to be on taxiing. Spend as much time as you can low level taxiing and just go handy, right? All right, we'll go left here. Easy now. Condition levers won't go fly. Petrolhead, click them. You have to press them in. So we're going to do the exact same flight again. We're going to fly out over the lake, hang a left, and we're going to land it in where that wooded area is. So if you feel the chopper getting away from you, you have brakes, or failing that, just lower your collective. It'll just calm it all down, right? What a machine, right? There's photos by Kev. You're looking well, Kev. So we'll do the same crack here. Give ourselves a bit of a challenge. Hard left-hand turn onto the taxiway, onto the active. Small bit of braking, help us out. And we'll start our turn, and again, just watch the angle of the aircraft. She's going to try and lean. The slower you do this, the better. But if it leans, lean into the turn. That's pretty good. All right. So we got ourselves lined up. Lower that collective now. That'll help slow it down before you go near the brakes. And small bit of pressure on the brakes. And we're looking good. Relax the body. So quick check here before we go. Lights are on. Avionics are on. So the same crack again. We're going to try and take off as easy as we can. Alright. So collective coming in. Keep your eyes forward. You can see already she's trying to move forward. Bring up the nose a little bit. Keep bringing the collective up. There we go. Nose down. Anti-torque and your cyclic, all trying to keep things level. Not too bad. A bit more collective. Lower the nose. And we're moving. Keep an eye on that airspeed indicator. This is a lot faster than the sky crane. Alright, once you have forward movement, your anti-torque pedals, they kind of just null off, you know what I mean? So coming up on 60 knots, our rate of climb is still good, vertical speed is good, at around 500 feet a minute. Keep an eye on those trees. Collective is around 50%. Cyclic is just small movements left and right, left and right. You see it here, look. I need to get a display on the screen so you can see exactly what my inputs are. So there's 100 knots. And as the chopper's trying to lean or move, you're just countering it. That's what your controls are doing. Watch your vertical speed. Keep it level, you don't want to be descending. Now, Lake Tahoe could be a reason for all your CTDs, lads, because it is a 2020 scenery. So we'll keep an eye on that. Alright, watch the vertical speed here. I just want to gain a little bit of altitude. So we're going to do a left turn. Let's just roll left. Again, keeping an eye on your vertical speed. Try not to let the thing lift you too high. That's fairly okay. Decent rate of turn. Great sounds in this, isn't there? Oh, yes. Okay, so there's our LZ over there. Looking good, lads, looking good. So as we approach the LZ, we want to lower our speed, yeah? So we're doing about 120 knots, give or take. So nose up, collective down, and try and keep the vertical speed 0. As you nose up, you want to be aiming to keep that vertical speed at 0. You can control that with your collective. So we're kind of level now. That speed is bleeding off quickly. And we can start a little bit of a roll here to our left. Speed is bleeding. 80 knots, 70 knots. We're not descending. Well, we are kind of now. Bit of collective in to counter that. Easy now. 50 knots coming in. Rate of descent again. Try not to go beyond 500 feet a minute. Yeah, the problem seems to be the airport lads. KGVL could be the issue for some. Okay, we're not going too bad here. Get rid of that speed now. Nose up. Collective down. That's good. Okay, we're almost out of hover. Easy now. Just keep an eye on those trees. Watch the rate of descent. Our forward momentum as well. Your eyes are doing all the work here. Easy. Easy. Right, try and get that speed back to 0. That's not too bad. Easy. A little bit close to the trees in front of us. We can correct that now in a second. There's a hover. Right, keep the nose up. Just back us up a little bit. Easy does it. Kicking up some dust. Alright, start lowering the nose down. That'll stop our forward momentum. And start lowering out the collective. Easy now. We go for a nice touchdown. Contact on the back. Get the nose down. And the nose is down. Bit of crack with that one, isn't there? Right. We're down anyway. Let's have a now look at you lads. Airwolf looking good. Mr. Chippy looking good. Petrolhead and Bellbro are inbound. Right, so we got a great approach here by Petrolhead and Bellbro. Looking very, very good here, lads. This is looking good, lads. It's almost synchronized. Great job. On Petrolheads, you can see some folks on the ground. It says Bellbro. That's really good, Bellbro. Almost down. See the back wheel? See the angle you're going to be at? So it's just a little bit harder to land this thing. Now you're starting to move backwards, so at this stage you just want to drop that collective. You're down. Nicely done. Here's first Wolf. Not bad, dude. Not bad. Nice attack. He's in a Huey. Here's Airwolf. You can see the tendency that Chinook has to lean back. That's what makes the thing so difficult to fly. And the reason why that is, lads, have a look at where the landing gear is. Look how far back they are. So by the time you realise you've actually touched down, I mean, look. Yeah, the rotors still aren't great. Like, they're probably better than what they are on VATSIM, for sure. Mr. Chippy, like a bat out of hell. Nicely done, lads. Nice to tech you, nicely done. In the Huey, that's a remarkable aircraft. Like, the flight model on Teog's hangars, helis, are amazing. They are amazing. There's Muse there now. Good stuff, Muse. So do you know what you might find as well? I can kind of see Petrolhead doing it, lads. So with your collective, rather than just trying to get the perfect, you know, amount of power, play around with it. You'll see real world pilots do that as well. I mean, they're not just, it's not just one movement and hold it. They're constantly moving it forwards and backwards. They're just finding that sweet zone. And it's the same with your cyclic. You're not just moving it one way to hold it. You're constantly moving it. You're almost creating all these movements yourself. And then, you know, you can kind of counteract it, yeah? Mr. Chippy, that was a beautiful approach. And then you got winded off. But I gotta tell you, flying choppers, they are so rewarding when you start getting it right. Muse, we didn't get to see your landing, but I imagine it was great. Yeah. Mr. Chippy coming in, this is looking real good. So it's the collective, that's what's fighting you, yeah? So you do have a little bit of ground effect coming in. But don't be afraid of touching down a little bit hard. You know, you'll pick it up. So try that, you know, moving up and down rather than just trying to hold it in one position. Because it helps. Very nicely done. Nice to tech you. That's like, that sort of hovering and, you know, traversing your anti-torque, turning around, that's super, super cool looking. It's quite difficult to do. It takes a lot of practice. There's Petrolhead. Right, so we're going to head back now, right? So same crack again. It's going to be collective and cyclic. Alright? So, collective coming in. The lean on the chopper. So you think you're going to be hovering, but really you're just sitting on your back wheels, right? We got a bit of space over here. There's Zith. There's the detail on the windscreen is savage, isn't it? Hey, Zith is in a bell. All right, lots of collective. Nose down gently. Anti-torque doing what I can do. And let's blast off out of here.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hey, Fletch. Welcome in, man. Alright. Easy, does it? Speed is good. Rate of climb is good. Same story again with the runway. Let's see, can we land coming straight in? It's a lot of fun in VR. Oh, it's... Flying choppers in VR is just incredible. And it can be super fun. You want to see the state of me in VR and the motion rig, it's like... Can't get enough of it. Cannot get enough of it. Alright, throwing a bit of a turn here. Easy, easy. Again, the sounds are savage, aren't they? You guys see a runway? There we go. So, we'll come in even faster on this one. Yeah, I got the rig set up. I'm still waiting on a couple of bits and pieces to come in, but it's up and running. Okay, so we're descending nicely. Let's bring the nose up to bleed off some of that speed. Reduce our vertical speed here as well. Very different flight models in the Chinook and the Sky Crane. Very different. Easy now. Rate of descent is good. Speed is bleeding. Get more aggressive on the speed. I'm kind of half climbing here. Don't like that. There we go. We had way too much speed coming in here, but she'll bleed off quickly. Right, throw the nose back down. Get the runway where it's supposed to be. Easy now. Alright, that's a bit better. And we'll try and touch down as we're moving forwards. Easy. What's that collective? Rate of descent is good. We're moving at around 30 knots. And we'll get a touchdown on the back and on the front.
Hello there.
Alright. Not too bad, not too bad. Fire medic, good to see you, man. Okay, Airwolf coming in beside us. He's going around. There's Ducks coming in. Whoa, look at the angle coming in just to bleed the speed. It's so cool when you see them do that, isn't it? There's a lot of getting used to with the Chinook, because the wheels are so far back. You're like saying, Jesus, have I not hit yet? There's Petrolhead now. I can see Kev back there. That's looking good, Petrolhead. That's looking good. See the challenge with the back wheels? It's like, they should be there, they're not there. Goosh. Now he's there. It's just practice, lads. Just practice. There's Bell, bro. Really fighting with the anti-torque, right? There's Kev. There's Mr. Chippy. It's awesome looking though, isn't it? Like, they're just cool machines. Nicely done, lads. So spend a bit of time just practicing this sort of flying. That's what I've done. Like, I usually fly around Casement. That's just my local airport, well, my home airport. But like, I couldn't tell you the amount of times I've done this. And like, the number one mistake when you're learning to fly helis in the sim, the number one mistake, you're flying at this altitude and say, okay, I'm going to land exactly where Belbro is. Sure, let's just jump down now. That's where the mistake is. You have to over-exaggerate your landing. Give yourself friggin' miles. Give yourself loads of room. That's what you got to practice with first. And then, you know, as look at this, visualize. Look at that accuracy, look. That's incredible. Coming in fast, stop, and then down. That takes training. But I gotta tell you, it is the most satisfying thing. When you learn how to do that, once you start getting it right, oh man, it's so much fun. There, Wolf. Ducks is there as well. And Petrolhead. Newsfan made it down again. So if the bigger choppers are just a little bit too much work for you, go back to the smaller ones. Start off with the Cabri. Great machine. Right, we're bringing this back in for a full stop. Let's get her out of here. Get a bit of speed behind us as well. Easy now. Here goes Ducks. Almost spin our way around. Easy now. Alright. Get that speed out of there. Come on, Betsy. What a machine. Look at the angle of attack. That's friggin' nuts. That's insane. Doing this in VR, it's ridiculous. Easy. Easy. Into some of that sunlight, make it look nice and pretty. There we go, the lure. Alright, contact on the back. Easy. And contact on the front. Right, nice. Parking brake engaged. Engine's coming offline. And they go for a stop. And it'll just calm itself down. Again, lads, practice, 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 but it's so much fun. So much fun. Right, that's going to do us for tonight because I ran a little bit late, but I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. The choppers, these have been so much fun over the last couple of weeks. We'll see how we go next week. Yeah, it's the chopper flying is great fun, and I highly, highly recommend it. They're going to scare the crap out of you. You're going to crash. You're going to make things go bang, but stick with it because they are so much fun to fly. They really are, especially if you haven't flown choppers in the sim yet. So I mean, look at the line out from the lads here. That's incredible stuff. We'll have to get some heli flights up and running soon. Don't leave your parking brake on. Yep, that'll do it. But right, lads, we're back to you on Friday night. We have a group flight in which we shall be flying the PC-12, and also we're going to be taking a helicopter for a spin for the second part of that flight. It's a double header on the double bill. But thank you also very, very much indeed for tuning in. Massive shout out to Jeff for the raid and for bringing his viewers over. Really do appreciate it, and welcome in to anyone who's new. Exclamation point Discord. That's where we hang out when we're not on a live stream. Ramble over. It's a very active Discord. Loads of fun. Usually people just take the mick out of me, but it's grand. I get over it. And yeah, we'll have more fun this coming Friday. So lads, thank you all so very, very much indeed. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you on Friday to bring in the weekend. Right, Murph, can you say foot golf faster? Foot golf. Foot. No, Gibbo, I can't. That's a try.
Few men even consider the possibility of life on other planets. Yet, across the Gulf... Jesus! What was that? I was about to say something and you hit me in the head! Christ! Hang on! I found more of these flamingos! Jesus!